And that should fix it. I think that fixes it. Yeah. There we go. Now you're good, Tube. Now you're good. You should be hearing my mic and everything. Like I was saying, more and more as the weeks go by and the actions of this administration are growing unsettling amongst the Trump supporting base, we're seeing more and more people, whether publicly or privately, start to denounce their support for Donald Trump, start to regret their votes and consider the options that we had on the 2024 table. And in that spirit, that is the purpose of this show. We get on this app just about every single day with an attempt to talk to Trump supporters who do regret their vote and give them a space to share exactly what made them get off the MAGA plantation. So if you are a Trump supporter who meets those qualifications, you may request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. Better yet, if you are a Trump supporter who's not regret their vote, you still think he's doing a fantastic job, you believe you can point to areas where he's doing very well or well enough that could use improvement, I guess you can request up in the box as well, because I think I can give you several reasons as to why you should regret your vote. While our prices are rising day in and day out for gas, for our groceries, for our energy, so on and so forth, you know what the administration is prioritizing right now? You guys want to take a wild guess as to what they're prioritizing right now? They're trying to find a way to get to ship firearms through the mail again. Those of you who did not know this, because I actually didn't until today. Yes, the ballroom, exactly, that too. They're trying to ship firearms through the mail. Pistols and revolvers under Trump's proposal. Because while the world is going down, I think it's super important that when someone buys a gun, they can have it shipped from, I don't know, Nevada. I'll go ahead and read this to you. I'll put it up on the screen for y'all. Oh, I didn't realize this one was in Spanish. I have to translate that. Give me a second. Give me a second over here. I think I do have this connected right. Do I have that connected right? Cheapside, please let me know and make sure the sound quality is good over there. Painting the Washington Monument. I did see that. I did see that. That was crazy, wasn't it? That was crazy, wasn't it? Hold on, let me remove this source here. Also, he's also working on the USPS to be able to essentially choose who gets mail-in ballots. Going to weaponize the USPS, and they're figuring out how they're going to do it. It's not in play now, but he wants to, per an executive order, get them to do that next. So it's going to be interesting. But here is that article. Let me read it for y'all. U.S. Postal Service may allow shipments of pistols and revolvers under Trump's proposal. The United States Postal Service is considering a regulatory change that would allow the mailing of handguns such as pistols and revolvers, which have previously been prohibited except for authorized sellers. The proposal, formulated by the President of the United States, Donald Trump, provides rules similar to those already in place for rifles and shotguns, requiring unloaded weapons and secure packaging. The ban on concealable weapons dates back to 1927. The Justice Department maintains that banning mail shipments of weapons protected by the constitutional right to possess firearms is unconstitutional. I don't see how. The way you guys stretch the Second Amendment to cover anything and everything related to firearms under the sun is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Thank you guys for knocking out that gift goal. I'm going to go ahead and reset it. Appreciate you guys. Continue to engage with the engagement. Let's get the likes up to 25K and beyond. The initiative has been welcomed by the NRA, the main U.S. firearm, which announces unnecessary obstacles for legal gun owners. However, the attorney generals of about 20 states are opposed, arguing that the measure would make it easier for criminals and prohibited individuals to access guns. California Attorney General Rob Bonta called the proposal irresponsible and dangerous to public safety, while the organization Every Town for Gun Safety fears that the Postal Service could become a conduit for illegal gun trafficking. Here's the crazy thing about this. We know the majority of firearm deaths are by pistols, right? Pistols and revolvers. That's where the majority of it comes from, legal or illegal. So why would we want to make it easier to do this through the mail as we still can't get universal background checks passed? It's pretty damn crazy, don't you think? It's pretty freaking crazy. Like, I'm all for you being able to get it if you can get it, but I feel like we do need to have some restrictions. Case, that's what we're prioritizing right now. Meanwhile, people can't afford much. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, and we call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. The last John Wick, did you vote for Trump?
No, I didn't. I was actually coming up here in regards to the firearm situation.
Trump supporters only request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation. Pretty freaking Trump supporters only. Please, Trump supporters only. We will get to other people later on during the show. I'm a little low. Okay, let me see. Let me see what I can do about that. On the tube side, I think TikTok is fine. I brought down this to 3.6. You guys let me know how that sounds now, because I think I'm in front of the mic. It should be fine. It should be fine. Mods are quick. That was me. That was me. We got to get a show going. Guys, all I do is talk to my friends. Like in the Discord or whatever else, all I do is talk to people who agree with me. So when we host these shows, we try to prioritize individuals who disagree, because I don't like echo chambers. I do not like echo chambers of either side. Don't care where you stand. You always want to avoid echo chambers. We are going to get back to doing more mutual lives or friendly lives, just where we have discussions. That is something that's coming up. I want to say within the next... Actually, I don't want to give y'all a time frame. I'm just going to say a month. Within the month. That's reasonable. Within a month. I think I could work with that. No one can beat me over the head. Within a month, we're going to get back to those conversations, because I do like to learn as well. And it's always good to have other people up who may be more knowledgeable on stuff than you are. They don't regret their vote if it's their intentions to be as they truly are. Within the decade. Yep, within the decade. I love living in a country where we can do this stuff. Yeah. I mean, you like firearm deaths. That's perfectly fine. I don't. I think there's a whole lot more we can do to restrict that, to reduce that risk. Infinitely more. And by sending firearms through the mail and giving criminals more easy access to these weapons, legal or illegal, it is what it is. It is what it is. Actually, we've had enough of it is what it is. So there is that. Hi, Ari. Welcome in, Ari. Welcome into the stream. Guys, make sure you're hitting the like button on the YouTube stream on your way in. Make sure we are engaging with the engagement. Yeah, it is freaking asinine. It is freaking asinine. Tell me, what is the point? So you're a guy in... And then how it'll go over from state to state. So you have places like California, which clearly has stricter firearm laws. And then say you're in California and you want to ship a gun to Tennessee. Like why? Why is this the priority right now? I don't see how that helps anyone. We also did see that the Trump administration is considering suspending the gas tax for a little bit as gas prices are continuing to rise. We are seeing them try to bring that down. And it's not much different from what took place for a moment under the Biden administration when it was at its peak in 2022. Of course, the only difference is Donald Trump is directly responsible for the increase in gas prices right now versus the Russia-Ukraine invasion in 2022, which Joe Biden had no role to play in. We only helped the people who were suffering from the attacks. So there's that. Not to mention, what I found super funny about the proposal, this is not long after James Tallarico, which is our Senate pick, our Democratic Senate pick here in Texas, he made a video about it. He put out an ad talking about when he gets into the Senate, he would propose suspending the gas tax to help bring down the cost for the average American. And then the Trump administration follows up not long after. I thought that was super duper interesting. Lowering the murder rate by shutting down the southern border. Sure, if you can point to undocumented migrant murders in mass, call in the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Show me a piece of documentation that tells us that we are safer under Donald Trump's policies from undocumented migrant crime. Because you guys have a bunch of rhetoric, a bunch of brown people bad, I want to know the numbers. I want to know the words. I want to see some metrics other than you see a guy who speaks an accent and you think he's a criminal. We can do better than that. We can do a lot better than that. Crime is down. Crime's been down since 2020. We saw it slightly go up during the pandemic near the end of 2020, and then crime has been steadily going down since. Specific crimes, if you're looking at specific areas, may have seen no effect or a slight increase. But in terms of violent crime across the United States, it's been down. I've even been hearing statistics come out of New York. Zohran Mamdani in New York City, crime is down in New York City. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I wouldn't say Zoran Mamdani did anything to bring it down. I think his policies that overall help people would discourage crime because more people are being able to get what they need. I think we're going to see one of their public-owned grocery stores open up by the end of the summer, is what he said. So we can point to things like that, but there's nothing we can directly say Zoran Mamdani did to bring down crime. Crime's been down. It's been down. And it has absolutely nothing to do with Donald Trump because it was going down under the Biden administration, which is another point. If we're going to do the whole fear-mongering thing of undocumented migrants, right? If undocumented migrants in mass came to the United States, then we would have the numbers to reflect it, right? We don't. We don't. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Any case, Trump supporters request up in the box due to the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Tennessee bill that would create a trans registry? Nope, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Imagine that. Guys, we should create a bill that creates a white registry. We should create a bill that creates a white registry, a registry of all the white people in the United States. White men specifically, excuse me. White men specifically. Why? Because they represent the majority of sexual crimes and otherwise. Does that make any sense to anyone? No, that sounds fucking crazy, right? Creating a registry for white men. Right? You would say that's crazy. I mean, we can't deny the numbers, but you would say that's crazy. That's exactly what they're trying to do for trans people, and it's for no reason whatsoever. No reason whatsoever. It's not the sports. It's not assaults in bathrooms, because we don't have the numbers for it. But this is how they talk. Anyone they don't like, they want to create a registry. They want to create some list. They want to push some narrative. It's strange. It's strange. It's strange. You just denied facts. Okay, Adrian, this is the part where I hit that pretty little mute button because I don't know what fact I denied. You haven't presented a fact. What fact have I denied? Present a fact for me to deny so then you can say I lied. You got the Trump supporters that will come in here. Wrong. You said something wrong. You're wrong. It's nothing but wrong. What am I wrong about? Everything. Okay, if I'm wrong about everything, you can tell me one specific thing that I'm wrong about. Wrong. What am I supposed to do with that? What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? I'm just asking questions. What am I supposed to do with that? I think they want their numbers. They're a little too obsessed with trans people. The last video I put up, I think, is a great example of the issue with cis white men specifically and trans people or gay people as a whole. They're closeted. And they have a irrational fear of going out in public, meeting a trans woman, and being sexually attracted to them. They're scared shitless of being sexually attracted to trans people. I don't know why, bro. I don't know why. I do not know why. So aggressive. That's why Trump supporters don't grow up. Is this what you think is aggressive? Is this aggressive? Bro, I'm wearing a pink shirt. I'm wearing a pink shirt. Am I being aggressive? Is this aggressive? Shit. Man. I don't know what to tell people if they think I'm being aggressive right now. I don't know what to tell people. Very liberal male of you, right? Very lib. The libs, they love their colors. They like to wear colors, especially the black ones. They love colors that look great on them. Blackies. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we don't call people that, Chad. You can shut up. That's pink? Yeah, it's pink. Is it not look pink? It's like a bright pink. I would more so like a Is coral the right pink shade I'm thinking of for this color? Yeah, I don't know. What do you like about Trump? Deb, is that a serious question? Deb? Salmon? Yeah. Dusty Rose. I feel like Dusty Rose and Powder Pink. I think those are more accurate. I would say Salmon is a little bit more vibrant than this. A little bit. I think those two are more accurate. Salmon, no, excuse me. Dusty Rose and Powder Pink. That makes sense. Or maybe even Peachy Pink. I can see that too. Pepto-Bismol. Pepto-Bismol. Yeah. That makes sense. I don't know why you guys are doing all this weird stuff in the comments. The call-in number is open, so there you go. You can call in that number. Just call in that number, and Trump supporters can request up in the box. I haven't seen host is thinking about dusty bottoms. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I've never heard that term before. Do you guys know what that means? You guys just say stuff. You guys are weird. You guys just be saying stuff. Only real men wear pink? 6,000%. Real men aren't afraid of colors. That's how you know Trump supporters aren't real men. They see the gay flag, they lose their shit. What was that one congressman who was going off about like teachers and on their desk, how they have like the pride flag on their desk? That should not be in a school. Okay, so we have an issue with flags in schools, so we shouldn't have the American flag in schools? Well, that's different. What makes it different? Well, they're expressing their national pride. Okay, an LGBTQ person would be expressing their LGBTQ pride. But it doesn't belong in schools. Why not? Because it's wrong. What makes it wrong? Because the Bible. Separation of church and state. Make it sense. Make it make sense. Trump lives in host's mind rent-free. No, just yours. I'm a political commentator, so I would speak on the president of the United States, who is Donald Trump. There's that. How does promoting homosexuality help society? Simple. Normalizing homosexuality will reduce crime. It would reduce crime from abusers, closeted individuals who go around beating up people. It reduces hate crimes. It encourages more children in foster care to be adopted by these couples. And it gives them equal rights. Also, I'm not sure if you guys knew this. I just found this out yesterday. Did you guys know that same-sex households, on average, make more money than opposite-sex households? Specifically with men, because, gender pay gap issues and stuff. It's interesting. Self-harm, that is correct. Yeah. Tell me, better question. What negative comes from promoting homosexuality in society? That's a better question. What is the negative of allowing people to love who they love of the same sex? How is that a negative for society? And I already know one of the big things that they're going to say, which is going to be, a reproduction. The vast majority of people are straight. Majority of people are straight, and then to gay couples, they can still adopt. We have a shit ton of kids in foster care, a shit ton of kids who needs homes. More gay couples would just focus on that department, getting surrogates. Bam. We really don't need more kids. We really don't. Help with youth and alive rates too. Yeah, 6,000%. 6,000%. With that being said, I'm done engaging with the chirpers in the comments. I don't know why you guys are being scared today. I ain't even got my do-rag on. I'm talking like a white person. I'm kidding. There's no white speech. I'm wearing dusty pink. No need to be scared today. Today's not the day for it. We need more kids. I don't know why you think that. I really don't. You never met my cousin? Do I want to? No, sir. Did you vote for Donald Trump?
I only got a second. Of course. Yes, I did, sir.
And do you regret your vote?
No, sir.
Why
All
is
due respect.
why is that?
Why don't I?
Hmm.
I mean, I stand by my instincts. I got great instincts. So let me ask you this, host. Why are you saying stuff like that? I think homosexuality has been normalized,
Yeah, with a specific
especially in the youth.
population,
I mean, the youth has been you know,
especially in the youth.
yeah.
I mean, yes, the younger generation growing up in a different society versus the more bigoted one that we saw in the past are more accepting of gay people, sure, but that
Well,
still would be concentrated with certain ideologies and certain households being conservative, aka the conservative ones. I really want to go back to you said you trust your
no, I don't. I
instincts.
wouldn't say that conservatives are anti-gay. I think that it's not a way to be identified in
Conservatives
politics.
are I mean, don't get me wrong, conservatives are infinitely more accepting of
Okay,
gay people than what they
okay, no,
used to
it's not
be.
about being gay.
Yeah,
It's
but
not about that.
it still overall they kind of do tend to nitpick at the LGBTQ community.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think Trump really hates the
I
LGBTQ
didn't say anything about Trump.
the way you guys kind of.
I never mentioned Trump. Trump is not
Oh, okay.
anti-gay.
No, he's not. But okay.
I want to go. You said something about your instincts. You said your
Yeah,
instincts is the reason why you don't regret your vote. I want to know
yeah. I
what
got
that
great
means.
instincts and I make great decisions when it comes to voting.
Okay, so we tend to vote for policies over here. I don't know what your instincts can do in
That
that
too.
department.
That too. Yeah. But my instincts come first.
Your
You don't
instincts
trust your
come over
instincts, sir?
policies.
Your instincts don't come first?
My instincts are built on, they have a foundation, they have a premise, and that premise wouldn't just be vibes. That's essentially what you're saying.
Oh, no. Instincts are way different than vibes. Vibes is drawn off of someone else. My instincts come from me
I mean, you have your
and
own
God.
vibes,
And me and
which you
God.
can
God
also
give me
call
my
instincts.
instincts. It's a blessing and a God given instinct. That's what it is.
Got you. So
That's all.
your instincts are divinely driven.
Okay, Mark Twain. Who'd you vote for?
I don't know why. Mark Twain. I voted for previous Madam Vice President Kamala Harris.
Okay. All right.
Let me
Fig.
guess. Your instinct said she was a bad person?
No, I don't know her personally, but she's married to a white man. I don't like white men.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. So let me get this straight. You voted for
Yeah.
a white man, and then
That's
you
what you said.
criticize a black
No,
woman.
y'all criticize white men all the time. So
I
you
mean,
know,
yes, we do speak on
Donald Trump's
behalf
not
of
white. He's
black men
orange.
on their
No,
failures.
he's
That's
orange.
not funny. You literally just said that you didn't like white men, or were you trying
Yeah.
to imitate the left?
What?
Do you like white men or not?
Not as politicians. No,
You voted for one.
he's not a politician.
He is a politician.
His business instincts drove me to vote for him. We need a businessman in office, and that's what we got.
He's
He's
still a
making deals all over
politician.
the country, all over the world.
He's now a two-time president. He's a literal politician. Even before then, before he was directly involved in politics, he was one of the lobbyists. He's one of the people who were heavily supporting
Right?
many prominent Democrats.
Of who?
So he
Yeah,
was
Democrats,
always
right?
influencing
Right.
politics.
Okay, so why you guys think he don't like the LGBTQ? He's always been a leftist.
I don't know why you keep going back to the LGBTQ. I'm not talking about that right now. We're talking about your instincts. We're talking about the fact that you said you don't like white men in your politics, but you voted for one as you proceeded to
He's not
criticize
white.
Kamala
He's
Harris
German.
for marrying one.
Yeah. Do you know much about her husband?
He's not white. He's German, is what you said.
Okay, do your research on Kamala Harris's husband, then get back with me.
That was a nice pivot. You said he's not white. He's German. Can there be black Germans?
Yeah.
Okay. So him being German would negate the fact that he's white. Those are two separate things. There's a difference between race and national. He ran.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
I don't like white men in my politics. And I voted for one because I couldn't stand the black woman who was married to one. You know what? Hold on. 29:30. I told myself I was going to do a better job at time stamping the clips. So 29:30. What did I say this is? Episode 74 of Defend the Indefensible. I have that one saved. That was... I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. Trump supporters request up in the box here the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Mind you, that whole conversation, we couldn't get to anything about policy, anything about what he's doing, anything about what he's advocating to do, trying to do. His entire basis was vibes. His entire vote was vibes. Yikes. Yikes. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. If we're really going to go down the route of not voting for someone based off their husband or wife, you guys voted for a person who has a wife who is not legally authorized to be here or didn't come here legally. As you ran off of getting rid of the people who keep coming here the wrong way, the people who are violating the law, no matter what their stance is in 2026, no matter their businesses, no matter their tax contributions, no matter their families, no matter what they mean to their societies or neighborhoods, get rid of them. You guys didn't care about that when it came to Melania Trump. You guys didn't care about that when he aligned himself with the world's richest man who came here on a student visa, then dropped out of school, didn't renew it, didn't transfer it. We went over a story, I want to say 2 weeks ago, of the two young men from the Congo who came here on a student visa. All they did was transfer schools. And because they forgot to notify the office, they went, scooped them up, and set them for deportation. A phone call they could have made. Hey, guys, so I saw that you transferred schools here. Just need to update your paperwork so we have that on record. You're not criminals. You're trying to get education. You want to work for America's companies. You want to contribute. Just update your paperwork. That's all it took, a phone call. And instead, they said, nah, just go round them up. Go round them up. We don't need them anymore. America first, though. America first, though. Are you preferring? I think you mean referring to Elon. Yes. Elon Musk came here on a student visa and then dropped out of school. Or am I mixing that up? He either came here on a student visa and then dropped out, or he came here and then got the student visa when he got here. Let me double check. Student visa. I just went over this last week. Got you. Yes. He came here on a student visa, dropped out, did not revisit school until 3 years later. And that's where he went to... What's the school? Because he came for Stanford, and then he ended up enrolling in whatchamacallit. Yeah. In a 2013 interview, his brother Kimball Musk referred to their early startup days as illegal, though Elon later contested this characterization of their status. 13 years ago, they said it with their full chest. We weren't supposed to be here. We weren't supposed to be starting business, but we did. And you guys didn't give a shit about that then. God forbid anyone else does. God forbid anyone else does. Anyway, Trump supporters request up in the box here the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. He has said numerous times there was a gray period where he wasn't here illegally. Yeah. Precisely. Why didn't Dumpy sue the movie The Apprentice? Yes, he did. He sued them to hell. There's a reason why we had a limited movie release of The Apprentice. He sued them to hell. They were literally selling packages online. You went to their website and you put in a certain donation. It put you in a raffle to get like certain like benefits or special cups or whatever the hell. Yeah, he sued them to hell. That movie suffered dramatically in 2024 because of him. And then they ended up dropping it on a Prime a couple months afterwards. I gave to that Kickstarter. WU. Yeah, Trump sued the hell out of them. None of them really went through, but they still have to pay for the legal troubles and stuff. It severely crippled the movie. You know how many people don't know about The Apprentice? It was insane. It was actually insane. But it was a fantastic movie. It was a fantastic movie. I'm going to keep it $1.50 with you guys. I heard about it before, but I didn't double check this until the movie came out. The allegations of his first wife and him assaulting her. That's where I found out about that, or it really hit me that happened. And I went back to the research. And yes, you can go see in the first divorce, his first divorce that they filed, she made the allegation that he assaulted her. We have a well-documented history of Donald Trump having a serious problem with consent. Serious problem with her. Get that? No, you defend Obama, defend Biden? What I defend them on? I've about had it with you guys coming in here, hearing me say absolutely nothing, and then putting my positions down in the chat. How about you ask me what my positions are? You were sent an invite. Taga. Go ahead and accept that invite. Does caller not remember Trump ran for president in the early 2000s? No, they don't. You know how I found out about that, guys? Last year? Not last year, 2024. You know how I found out about that? My first, one of my earlier guests, Trump supporters, came up and he said, I voted for Trump 5 times. I said, what? I'm like, sir, you only had 3 chances to do that. They're like, no, I voted for him 5 times. It's because of his failed campaigns before. When he was doing it as a Democrat. Yep. She recanted, but she said she misunderstood the aggression. Not that it didn't happen. Yeah. Well, it feels different now that I put the allegation in and I was threatened. And Donald Trump clearly had a, what's the word I'm looking for? A particular power dynamic over me. Now, I just misunderstood the encounter where I told him to stop and he refused. I misunderstood the encounter where he slapped me across my face. Just a misunderstanding. Poor woman. Yeah, she did. They can't get past their programming? Oh, yeah. They literally make up what Democrats believe. They make up what the left is to justify their draconian behavior towards us. That's what they do. The left wants illegal criminals raping your kids. No, we don't. We supported Joe Biden and his record amounts of deportation of violent criminals from the country. No one wants to talk about that. We do not support the abuse and violation of due process for the millions of undocumented migrants living here in the United States that haven't committed a violent crime. Fuck over the violent crime people, or prioritize the violent crime people. Leave the other people alone. That's what we're saying. But all you guys here is you want people to break the law. No, you want people to break the law because when we present solutions, you vote against it. That's the difference. Oh, I know, Janice. I know. I read the report. I know what he all did. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying all that on the platform. It's all available in the divorce filings and then written in her book before she withdrew it. You can go read it up. I'm not telling y'all everything he did to her. What was alleged that he did to her. That's just fucking trigger warning. Absolute trigger warning. And just like that, he's gone. See what happens? See what happens when you put him on the spot? You had all this energy, Shada. All this energy to do all this chirping, and then you disappeared. Why is that? Why is it so hard for you guys to defend your position? Guess what, guys? I unapologetically am pro. Alrighty. Will this be a headache or a conversation? Let's find out. Continue to double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up to 100K.
Robert,
you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Lord, but I cannot lie. I am motherfucking deny. When she comes with that big fat thing, he gets sprung, hon.
I didn't even hang up. So as I was saying, I'm an unapologetic defender of LGBTQ rights. I am an unapologetic defender of the Constitution. I'm an unapologetic defender of universal health care. I can substantiate every single one of my positions. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. You guys, though, are keyboard warriors, and it's really sad because you're supposed to be alpha males. You're supposed to be alpha males, right? Us beta libs with our pink shirts and our nail polish and all that shit. We can't defend anything. We're not real men. And you guys are afraid of us. It's fucking hilarious to me. Just Jay, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, Hector, I voted for Trump.
And do you regret your vote?
Well, look, there's a lot of things that I'm not happy to be seeing right now out of the Trump administration, but I can't say I'd go back in time and change my vote.
Well, I would not ask you to because I don't deal in, fictional realities. We don't have time travel. Instead, we just have human emotions and responses to the actions of this administration. Hence, the question if you regret your vote. So is that a yes or a no?
No.
No. And why is that?
I just don't really think the Democrat Party is a good choice. I don't like their political paradigm of oppressor versus oppressee. I think they're a throwback from Karl Marx, except instead of pitting labor against the the bourgeoisie, they've invited so-called marginalized communities under their tent. I don't think I think it's disingenuous. It's divisive. I don't like the politics, and I don't think it's good for America either.
You think inviting marginalized communities under your tent is bad politics?
I think that what's the reality is that the oppressor-oppressee paradigm is meant to distract from the fact that the oppressor is really the government taking 40-50% of your paycheck and giving it to their friends. That's the oppressor, but they don't want you to look at that oppressor. They're trying to create a new oppressor, and a lot of people are buying into it, and I think it's sad.
So you would not be a fan of the kickbacks that, say, the likes of Elon Musk get from the government?
I don't think any kickbacks are appropriate. Neither were the kickbacks that Obama gave to Goldman Sachs to bail them out either. I didn't agree with that.
I actually disagree with that. I do think some kickbacks are necessary to encourage innovation, to encourage business, to set up initiatives for, say, contractors who build homes, affordable homes. I think it's good that the government gives them tax incentives to build these homes for American people. I think increasing the supply and demand is good to bring down the cost of homes because we currently have a little bit of a shortage. I think those are good, but no, I don't think the likes of Elon Musk and SpaceX.
I don't understand why the government. I don't understand why the government's in the housing business, the solar panel business, the energy business. I don't understand why they're giving tax incentives to.
They
I don't understand why
incentivize home building. They incentivize cleaner energy, or at least they did under Biden.
I don't think that giving Tesla owners $7,500 deductions off their taxes to buy $60,000-$70,000 cars is fair to you and I as taxpayers.
Well, it wasn't specific to Tesla. It was just electric cars as a whole. So Rivian got them, Polestar got them. There were several other businesses.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. That American tax dollars are undermined by people buying luxury electric vehicles.
What do you mean undermined?
Like we lost billions of dollars in tax revenue due to these tax incentives, which I don't agree with.
It's a credit. It's a credit for you and I.
Well, you can deduct it off your taxes.
The
so
lowest
that
you
means
can
that
get a Tesla. What is it? Tesla Model S or whatever is $40,000. They've become more and more affordable with the technology we have now.
The tax credits sunset already, but during the Biden administration, I think.
Yeah, Trump did away with a lot of them.
Yeah, some huge amount of people. Like I don't know if it's 500,000 or 800,000 or 1 million people were able to, like over $7 or $8 billion of money was shielded from taxes, and like I don't believe in those sort of incentives.
That money went to the average American. You're acting as if only rich people were buying these cars. Some of those tax breaks,
Well, if you're
tax
buying a
credit,
fifty,
excuse
sixty
me.
thousand dollar car, you're
Yes,
you're
some
definitely
electric cars were $50,000, $60,000. A lot of them are starting at 35, 40 now for the base
not during the Biden
models.
administration. The prices have dropped on those because nobody
Yes,
wants it.
some no prices have dropped because we've had record amounts of increasing of their production, and then with the expansion of charging stations across the country, it's a lot more manageable to have an electric car compared to what it was. One of the big holdups were you only have this size battery, and you can be this many miles away from a charger. Versus now, we have chargers just about everywhere, especially in cities. I can say here in Texas, Dallas, Austin, Houston, you got a charger everywhere. You don't have to worry about that.
Well,
Also,
I
I'm
didn't
not
feel.
saying that a $35 to $40,000 car isn't freaking expensive. I remember 25, 30 was big money, but that's roughly around the average amount that a car costs, between 28 to 35K.
Right. I mean, I didn't agree with that incentive. The Biden administration passed the Inflation Reduction Act, which was like an $800 billion bill. Some say a trillion. Out of that money, like 400 million or 390 million went to clean energy, such as those tax credits.
God
Nobody knows
bless
where the
you.
nobody knows where the money went, and
You know exactly where the money went.
I thought that the Inflation Reduction Act did the opposite. It caused inflation, and to me, it
That would
was
be
not. It was a
incorrect. The
failure.
Inflation Reduction Act, while even Biden himself said it didn't do a ton to reduce inflation, we still saw after its passage inflation go down just about every single month.
You
Excuse
know,
me.
that's a misnomer. A lot of Democrats on TikTok lives, like the one you're in, though you're definitely a lot more polite than the average one, um, say, "Oh, inflation went down. It went down." But you would think, "Oh, inflation went down. Car prices are back down. Housing prices are back down." But no,
No,
housing prices went up like
no one said that.
37% and never went down.
Your
Car prices
specific
were up 20.
criticism was inflation, so that's all I'm speaking on is inflation. No, we understand inflation being at a certain number doesn't necessarily equate to the
Yeah,
prices of goods.
inflation moderated. It didn't go down. So like all these prices are still really high and they never recovered.
They
And people
did.
like me that were hoping to be able to afford a house
Can you
in the
tell me?
future,
Can you tell me what misnomer means?
um, like say mistake, like using a word in a way that is like not quite accurate.
A wrong or inaccurate name or designation. And you said what I said about inflation going down just about every month after the Inflation Reduction Act was passed was a misnomer.
It's being used in a way that's not accurate, deceptive. Because a lot of people are saying, but inflation went down under Biden, and so like somebody, the average person might say, "Oh, see, it went down," but it didn't. The rate went down, but but the prices never went down. The prices still are up, whether it's houses, rent, cars, insurance, healthcare, and yet some of these prices are going actually up under Trump too. So a Trump supporter like myself is not happy about that. We're not happy about gas prices, but the damage was really done under the Biden economy. They want to blame Putin. They want to blame the pandemic. They can blame whatever they want, but the prices went up under the Biden administration and never went down.
Do you see the chart above you?
It's hard to see that. It's really small.
I'll make it bigger. These are the inflation rates year over year, month by month. The Inflation Reduction Act passed in, I believe, July or August of 2022. And then we can go all the way down into 2023 and 2024 and saw that those rates went down. We even saw some prices in some areas drop as well. But yes, you're correct. Many of those prices stayed high. That is one of the problems. That is exactly why Kamala Harris also ran off of price gouging. She spoke on the fact that despite the economy's metrics looking better over time, that it was the price of goods, price of groceries was still too damn high. In part because of places admitted even to price gouging such as Kroger.
historically going after price gouging is a very very bad policy
How?
because what's happened when resources or conditions force businesses to raise prices. Historically, if the government steps in and starts having price limitations, then the business stops producing those goods,
What
and then you
forced
have
them to raise
less.
prices?
Well, it doesn't really matter who forced them to raise the price.
Well, it
Just
does. You said something would force them to raise prices. What
oh,
would
oh
force
like
them to raise prices?
whatever the
Thank you,
condition
Karen,
is,
for the hearts. I appreciate you.
whatever the condition that forced businesses to raise their prices. Historically, when government steps in and tries to regulate those prices, producers, if they don't have any wiggle room, they just stop producing that goods and service,
They
and
really do,
then
Manny.
scarcity ensues, and there's less competition. So it's historically regulating prices has been a terrible thing that governments could do, and Miss Harris promising to do that didn't give me any comfort.
If let's say Donald Trump's tariffs, specifically when we talk about coffee, brought up the price of the coffee beans that we were getting to from 25 to 50%, would you say that would have quote unquote forced some of these companies to raise their prices if they wanted to maintain their profit margin?
I heard like a God bless
Thank
you
you, Karen,
from
for the
Obama.
finger
So
hearts.
I didn't hear the last part of your question.
Would
So
you
if
say
tariffs increase prices, then what were you saying?
would you say like the specific tariff increase on coffees by 25 to 50% to import coffee, would you say the corporation, Starbucks, whatever, that brought up their coffee costs, would you say that would be a justified price increase?
Yes,
Right. Because of the circumstances and they have to
but
maintain their profit margin.
those
I mean, I don't like
but
it, but that business has
but
every right to go, well, I still want to make money. Whatever this president is
Starbucks
doing, I'm
is
going to bring up the prices.
Starbucks is notoriously expensive. There was an interview on NPR where they were interviewing Walmart, and
Yeah.
Walmart.
I just mentioned Starbucks being a coffee company in general. Coffee shops and coffee distributors had to bring up their prices because of the increase.
Right, but what's going to happen in some cases, like in the case of Walmart, they declared that they were going to absorb many of the increases, not all, but many, because these companies are making a huge profit margin.
Yeah, some of these
Um,
companies chose to take it on themselves. Good for them.
right.
I would argue the
So
vast majority
it's
of
not
them
going to be a
did
one
not.
for one.
The
It's
point
not going
that
to
I
be a
was
one for
making
one.
is that the tariff brought up the prices for the coffee. The companies chose to maintain their profits. Most of them chose to increase their prices for coffee as well. That is not something that price gouging is meant to deal with, right? Factors like that is vastly different because that's just you trying to maintain profit. Price gouging specifically, let's say, is things like bringing up the price of toilet paper or water because there's a hurricane coming through, or because of a
But
particular event, such as inflation being that high, you bring up the cost of goods, right? And then once inflation comes down, you choose to keep that price because people are paying it anyway. Past that point,
but
you're just making record amounts of money, but
you
it's
gave a
not
good
breathing
example
you.
actually. You gave a good example of Starbucks. If Starbucks was forced to raise its prices from $5 per coffee cup to $7.50, otherwise they make no money at all, and the government stepped in and said you have to keep it at 5. What happens in most cases is Starbucks stops producing coffee or goes out of business, and I don't agree with that because
Starbucks
it
goes out of business because they
well,
just
look, I'm just giving
choose.
an
That's a interesting argument. Can you give me some kind of basis for this of a corporation that upon unjustly jacking up the prices of goods and was stopped, that they just chose to go out of business versus going back to making money, less money?
well. A better example would be, let's say Starbucks has a competitor that's not as strong and big as Starbucks, and let's say the tariffs hit Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and like 20 other coffees, really small mom and pop makers that you've never heard of before, and they're all forced to raise their prices. if the government steps in and says you can't, what's probably going to happen is there'll be Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks and the
That's
three,
different.
four guys
Hold on, that's different.
underneath them.
You're conflating again a regular. I'm blanking on the freaking terminology now.
No, but the 20 other companies that were that were small companies like your company, my company, that are much smaller.
But again, because of the
ones,
government's actions, you would have to bring up your prices if you wanted to maintain profit. That's not just you jacking it up just because.
No, the government.
That is separate. That's not what price gouging or the federal price gouging ban that Kamala Harris promoted was meant to address. That is reasonable.
Well, we're talking about like two things. Like, let's say Trump's tariffs forced coffee makers, coffee retailers to raise their price, and let's say
it did.
A Kamala Harris
and
type
forced
of
is a strong word, but many of them did, as they had the right to do. Yes.
Well, let's say many of them felt they had to do that to profit, and then let's say Gavin Newsom said we're going after price gougers and said you can't do that. What would ultimately happen is the weaker makers would probably have to go out of business. That's my argument.
That's not price gouging. That's not price gouging. That's not price gouging.
Yeah, but that's price controlling. That's what Kamala Harris.
Nor is it price control. There's a monumental difference between price gouging and price control.
Well, Kamala Harris is proposing.
I don't think you understand these things.
Kamala Harris is proposing to control companies from price gouging by controlling.
She was not.
That's what she proposed.
No, she did not. Price control is saying that you cannot sell this thing over this number just because of this reason. Price control is setting a cap. Price control is even going as far as to setting a price determined by the government, which literally destroys capitalism and free trade as a whole. That is nothing that Kamala Harris proposed in no way, shape, or form.
Well, what did she propose to stop price gouging?
She proposed appointing the Attorney General of the United States, because first and foremost, we already have price gouging bans on the book. Not bans. Price gouging laws on the books in individual states. She proposed a federal one. So every single state, above them, the federal government could have the Attorney General of the United States then look into cases where companies could have been accused of price gouging, which is unjustly inflating their prices outside of reasonable supply and demand, and other factors. That's the difference.
She proposed
not just someone saying this cost went up here, so we're going to increase this cost here for this thing, and then the government said, "Well, you didn't have to do that. Sue them." That's not how that works.
She proposed monetary punishments for price gougers.
It could have been monetary, sure.
So that's another policy I didn't agree with Ms. Harris. I didn't agree how she wanted to subsidize wealthy kids that went to college and knock off their college loan while they're like, I worked in a pharmacy and
subsidize wealthy kids.
The pharmacy.
Are you talking about student loan forgiveness?
Yes.
I'm sorry. What makes you think that it was specifically for wealthy kids?
Well, in many cases, it's the wealthy kids that can afford $150,000, $200,000 school tuition. In my case, I worked in an area where there were pharmacists that were making $150,000 a year, and it was like the stock boys had to subsidize their college education, which I thought was totally unfair. Why is a college education a more valuable investment than building a restaurant, any other investment? Like, why favor college education over, let's say you invest in a restaurant? Like, why is your investment more important than that person's investment? I don't like picking winners and losers like that. I think it's totally immoral and unfair.
No, you're wrong. While the majority of college graduates would be in the middle class or higher income tiers, that would only just be the higher number of it, which is I want to say is roughly. Let me see if I can get you a specific number here. I can't find the number, but I'm looking for it. We can look at Pew Research.
Well, the situation I found myself in, which was absurd,
specifically from 1970 to 2023. 61% of Americans in household by 2023. It's fallen to 51. And it specifically cites from lower income households, 12% being college graduates per this Pew Research study here. But
You
again,
know,
those are
it's
also the
interesting. Like,
individuals would have had their student loan forgiveness settled.
you
Not to mention, it was heavily prioritized, not prioritized, excuse me, it was heavily leaning on government employees specifically. So people who worked for the government, people who were serving this country, would have been the ones to benefit from this. I don't know why that's a bad thing. It wasn't just wiping out student debt for rich people who were successful just because.
well, the situation I found myself in is, you had pharmacists that were making 150,000 a year, and like their loans were being paid off by the stock boys that were making 40,000 a year. I mean,
What do you
it's
mean by that?
absurd that you have people that are doing quite well in their careers getting tax tax incentives by the American taxpayer, many of which are not making anywhere
How is
near as
student
much
loan
as a lot of
forgiveness a tax incentive?
or tax deduction, tax reimbursement, whatever you want to call it, tax forgiveness, loan forgiveness, called loan forgiveness. That's it.
All
Yeah.
four of those things you mentioned are very different things.
Okay. Let's think of the best word: loan forgiveness for rich people. I think that's crazy
No,
if
it
that's
wasn't
tax
for
law.
rich people. First off, to look at today's middle class and consider it rich is insane, especially considering that's been shrinking, especially considering, per what you said earlier, inflation going down and all these different metrics doesn't enable wages to keep up. Our dollar value is shrinking significantly. It doesn't hit the same way. Like the middle
But
class in
do you
2026 doesn't hit the way that it used to in the 70s.
do you think that making investing in your education is like an investment? Do you think of it as like an investment?
Yes,
You're
investing in
allocating,
education is an investment.
right?
Whether it's
So
engineering, whether it's
me too.
nursing, whether it's several other things. So yes, the government stepping in and helping Americans during that time, especially during 2022 when everything was so damn high, I think was a good thing. I would think that was a way the government actually served its people.
Um, well, I agree with you that in education it's an investment, but my question to you is why do you think it's a good thing that the government chooses to help people that made this type of investment as opposed to another type of investment that can better them, like an investment in a business, an investment in a home, an investment in a restaurant? Like, why is that fair?
Are you just are you
I mean,
are you against any government initiative incentivizing like small business ownership? I guess having families in terms of tax credits, little breaks for certain goods and stuff, benefits that kind of help people afford school, such as knocking off this much on school supplies or compute. Are you just against all of that stuff?
yeah, pretty much. Is there something wrong with that?
I'm curious as to why.
The way that
Would
early
that be
when the
one of the
country,
few ways that we would be America first? That we
the
are
way this
incentivizing
country,
American businesses, American education, American homes, American food.
the way this country was founded, it was meant that first of all we had barely any federal income tax, if any at all, up until 1913, and money was allocated to protect us from the military, basic infrastructure. It was never meant to hand out, pay for people's college educations, and fund their businesses.
It's not.
That's that's crazy talk,
It's a
and that's
break.
why
They're breaks and
it's crazy.
incentives, not
It's crazy talk.
subsidizing. We
It's
don't
crazy talk, and
subsidize businesses necessarily.
that's why the American dollar has plummeted in value by 99% in the last 50 years.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned the last 50 years because a lot of this started with Reagan. In fact, everyone attributes the early 2000s to the mass producing, specifically talking about jobs, mass shipping jobs overseas when it actually started in the 70s when we gave them a 50% deduction in taxes. Fuck is ringing on my doorbell. Someone's trying to sell something. A 50% reduction, a 50 something percent reduction, and then the company still went overseas to make more money, which is exactly why we say that Reaganomics is trash.
Actually, trickle down economics, it's always been referred to as, the wealth money and wealth trickling down from the upper class businesses, and Democrats have totally scorned and made fun of that concept. But
It's
I would
terrible.
argue I would argue that the worst trickle down economics is when you give the government money and let them allocate the wealth. The wealth is not allocated in a productive way, and non-productive dollars,
Thank you guys for the
not
follows.
non-productive dollars, non-productive allocation of funds just cause the dollar to decline in value, and it's a terrible formula, and it's obvious, and I don't know why people don't see that.
So, would you be an advocate for completely abolishing any and all tax incentives?
I'd certainly be an advocate of abolishing a huge amount of tax incentives. I mean, I don't know about every single one, but
What
a
for?
lot of them.
Because I can
Excuse me?
actually halfway agree with you. I think as it sits right now, we're looking at a country $40 trillion in debt and running off of tax cuts. Tax cuts is stupid. I think that's really stupid. However,
Yeah,
I
I
am not
agree.
for abolishing the ones that directly contribute to Americans doing stuff with their lives and helping them and their families and everything else. Like I would never be for doing away with the child tax credit. I would never be for doing away with like small business tax credits and breaks. Like never. Those are
I think the
good.
best way to help most people is to just simply cut their taxes and let them figure out the best way to run their own life and not try to manage it
So
for
you
them.
are for
Social,
taxes being cut. So why are you
absolutely.
criticizing the ones we were talking about specifically?
I'm criticizing because it's not the same thing to reduce someone's tax liability versus reimburse them for a loan they took out. That's you're conflating two totally different things.
It's not a reimbursement. Again, as you literally said, it would be an investment. One that was only afforded to
I
certain
know, but
Americans.
if I take a loan out for $100,000 and the government reduces that by 25,000, they're basically giving me twenty-five thousand
Also,
dollars.
in part, the reason why we were doing that is also because of predatory loans.
There's
They're
no
still
such thing
working
as a
out those
pred-
cases right now.
there's no such thing as a predatory loan. Okay,
What do you
a
mean there's no
predatory
such
loan.
thing as a predatory
The,
loan?
the only case that implies that people are just poor little sheep that are didn't read the fine line. Yeah, if you're talking like an 18-year-old kid getting a 40% credit card rate, I would agree with that, and I would say they should ban that. But people need to be responsible for their own stupidity, and taxpayers um can't pay people back for
Got
their
you. Got
mistakes.
you. So, lenders, lenders who first off, this is crazy. This is crazy because while I would love to live in the world where every single person who signed up for Facebook and X and Instagram and TikTok had the time and wherewithal to go through each and every single portion of the terms and service, I understand that that's fucking impossible. I understand, especially for many of the people that they catch in these loans, which would be lower and low middle income families. It's just people who want an opportunity to better their life, to better their education. So they read some of the stuff, the important parts, and they take the opportunity just for corporations to screw them over. I don't know how you can put that on that person for not expecting certain things to be in there because they didn't have the time and the wherewithal to fully read a loan contract as a fucking like what? We don't even
I
have.
would almost agree with you that like who has time to read a 40 or 60-page privacy note from like Instagram? But come on, if you're gonna get a credit card, read the one page that says the interest rate. On that term, it's only one freaking page. If you're a big boy enough
Well,
to borrow
sometimes they
money,
do
you
that,
should read
right?
a
But then
single
in the
page.
finer print, there's caveat here, caveat there. Yeah, this is only going to be
It's only
this
one
rate.
page.
But
Those
if
credit
this
card
thing's
terms.
happen, or if you miss 1 month, or if you're late by 1 day, then it jacks up to this percentage. Specifically, I can speak to like say Cash App Borrow. So Cash App Borrow, some of you guys may have this option, some of you may not. You get a limit. I think it starts you off at 100, then it goes up to 200, 300, 400. And the interest rate is every week. Yeah, every week after you borrowed, you pay back 100. Okay, let's say the limit is 400. You can borrow 400, you'll end up paying back 420 so long you don't miss anything. If you miss anything and you look at the damn percentage rate, it is a 75% interest rate. It's fucking insane. 75% interest
I
rate.
agree, but I agree, but the general term is, people, the government loves to pretend that there's an oppressor and an oppressee. They love to come on in and be the savior, and this thinking's got to stop. People,
Do you not believe in classism?
I don't know if I believe it or not. I don't think about it. I just go to work, come home, eat dinner, go to bed, and repeat.
Okay,
I mean, I
but
don't
you're
think
not
about it.
denying the fact that classism is a thing.
It's a thing, but the bigger threat isn't classism. It's the government manipulating the issue, and so
It would
that
literally be tied into classism, because those of the higher class, with their sheer amounts of wealth, income, and influence, affect the government and affect the policies that they pass on whether it negatively impacts us or positively impacts us. So for you to say that you think one of the issues is everything being framed as an oppressor oppressee thing, your specific criticism, I would argue, is more so with racial and other dynamics. But classism is an oppressor and oppressee, which includes everyone, regardless of race, gender, or otherwise. If you make this much money, you're in a class war with people who make this much up here. That is
there's
oppression.
a lot of people that make a lot more money than me, and I don't recall getting harmed by them. But I do recall.
Okay, that's
getting
different.
harmed
When
by
we're talking about that class, we're obviously talking about a very different percentage of people versus the average millionaire. That is very different.
Trump. Well, host, I gotta actually jump in about a minute, because my phone's almost out of batteries. Just giving you a heads up.
Sure, no problem. I think it's very telling why you voted for Trump, because you seem to be vastly misinformed about a lot of things. You have some very interesting opinions.
Well, I lived in New York for my whole life, and I've seen how Democrat policies have just done nothing but raise costs, raise expenses. Despite all they talk about is classism and the rich versus poor.
You're literally
And then
complaining about specific Democratic politicians.
What have they? Well, what have they done? They've pretty much priced middle class people out of Manhattan. They've launched this congestion pricing, which costs some people $2,000 to $3,000 a year now just to get to work.
Again,
Everything
that
they
would be
do
a
is the opposite of what they
issue.
say.
That would be an issue of opportunistic people in the party, which we are
Well,
literally trying to vote out right now.
I've seen how badly they run this place. Why would I want that nationally? Our own governor, she calls everybody a racist,
Well,
and
we've
then
already had
like
it
she says that
nationally
black
several
people can't
times.
even use computers. I mean, she's the biggest racist in the planet. Kathy
Yeah,
Hochul.
that's not what she said, and she doesn't call everyone a
That's
racist
exactly what she
as
said,
well.
and anybody in your life could double check that.
No,
The
I
governor
have,
of
and
New
I go
York,
over this quite frequently with you guys.
the governor of New York said black people can't use computers. Okay, that's how racist she is.
That is not what she said for the last time. She was speaking on in certain communities, many of those communities being black or predominantly black, that some of them were not equipped to understand how to use a computer, which is true. She just didn't word it perfectly.
I don't think black people are any less equipped to use a computer than anybody else.
In some black neighborhoods, poverty-stricken ones, yes, they're not as knowledgeable on how to navigate computers. I know I wasn't when I was at a very young age.
I mean, nobody really uses a computer for anything but going on YouTube anyway. So what's the big deal?
Not true.
But anyway, host, thanks for having me on your show. I'll give you a follow, and maybe we'll talk again.
Yeah, you take it easy. Also, he was already following me, so that's interesting. PSA time. If you guys are not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday after 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. Make sure you guys are sharing out the live with your friends and family as well. Repost, add to your story. Repost does not count as a share, so make sure you're sharing it to your group chats and everything else as well.
God bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you so much, Jane. Send your daily heart music if you have already in the top left corner. It's super important that we do that every single week. It only costs 1 coin, and you get a couple cool stickers when you do. Of course, the links in the bio, the best ways to support the platform, whether you're following me on all the other social medias, such as YouTube that we're doing streaming to right now, or Instagram, where I post the videos I put up here. Joining the Discord community, to which we're over 720 members strong. Getting yourself some merchandise off the merch shop at Hector Talks with 2 R's. HectorShops.com with 2 R's, HectorShops.com with 2 R's, or donating directly to the links in the bio. We've been live for about an hour. If you'd like to send your thanks and support for everything that we do here, you may do so in the links in the bio. And I think I've been doing a pretty fucking good job at being ashwagandha today. But the Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo is Hector Talks with 2 R's, or PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the Tube side, please make sure to hit the like button on the stream, subscribe, turn on notification bells. Your engagement is important as well. And if you want to support, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. Thank you guys for knocking out the gift goal. I'm going to go ahead and reset it and move on to the next guest. Farming is sexy. Did you vote for Trump?
No, I think I probably shouldn't be up. It looks like you're looking for Trump supporters. I
Yes,
just
I
wanted
am.
to ask.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming up. You may ask it in the chat. Trump supporters request up in the box. Trump supporters request up in the box. Please stay out of the request box if you are not a Trump supporter. We try not to do echo chambers here. But thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you. I'm going to set this gift, but I don't know if it's going to show up because it's new. It's like a cab. It's a New York cab. You guys may not see it. Let me know if you don't see it. Hi, Vanessa. Let me know if you don't see it. Yeah. Imagine still believing in trickle-down economics in 2026. Yeah. Well, to be fair, he didn't necessarily say that it wasn't doing the harm that it did. He just said he thinks the bigger trickle-down or the bigger robbery would be the government taking all their money and doing this and doing that. And I've said this time and time again. I think Democrats need to run off of better tax efficiency, better tax transparency specifically. I think there needs to be a website where the average American go to and just see exactly where
God bless you.
Thank you so much, Karen, for the cabs. I appreciate you. Just making sure everyone can see those. I think that is a very good thing. I think for a lot of policies that we plan to enact, to some degree, it could, not always. I think Zoran Mamdani is doing a good job at reallocating taxes versus imposing new ones. But anyways, on a certain percentage. But I think a lot of the things we want to do would encourage or warrant an increased tax rate. Sure. But if we tell people where their taxes are going and ensuring that it's going towards making sure your healthcare is actually efficient and affordable, making sure that your roads are great, making sure this is happening, and we show results, then people can be less hesitant about any tax hikes. They're going to take our money anyway. I'm pro-tax because they're going to take our money anyway. I just would care less if the money was going to the right things. You did not request up 12. Otherwise, you would have been in the request. And I can't even send you an invite. There's a button above my head here. You can press the request button. You're currently not in it, and I can't even send you an invite. Also, if you're not a Trump supporter, don't. So there's that. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the Tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Also, this motherfucker said, wait, this mofo said that Democrats creating an umbrella or welcoming in minorities in their group is a bad thing. Is that not literally what Republicans are trying to do specifically for black people? They are literally trying to, poorly, trying to create a tent for black people specifically to come over to the Republican side to cover up their racism and everything else. They're literally trying to bring them over, create a tent for these minorities while giving them nothing. So both parties do it. Democrats are just clearly better. And you know a talking point that I'm actually sick and tired of hearing? I'm so sick and tired of hearing this. When people say, Democrats have had your vote for 60 years. Okay. Isn't that more so reflective of how bad Republicans are? Right? Because if you're saying that they just have our vote, nothing they do is going to make us stop voting for them, and we're on the plantation and all this different stuff, and you're using that as an insult, isn't that more so an example of just how bad Republicans are? That no matter how fed up we are of Democrats, how much we know that they play around with the black vote, they play around with the Asian vote, they play around with the Latino vote, that they're just that fucking bad to where like we still can't go vote Republican. That's the conversation you guys are never willing to have. So in fact, we're going to make that the invisible prompt. We're going to make that the invisible prompt. If you, as a Republican, as a Trump supporter, want more of me, I guess we'll say more of us, I will speak on black people specifically, to vote Republican, what reason do we have to do so, right? There needs to be a trade-off. You can't tell me to vote Republican because, quote unquote, what do you have to lose? Donald Trump won the Oval Office. We've lost a lot. Black people have lost a lot, specifically with the last ruling that we've had in the Supreme Court with Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. We've lost quite a fucking bit. So you keep telling us to vote for the opposing side, no problem. What do you have for us over there? I need a Trump supporter to tell me what Republicans have for black people if we vote the other side. Otherwise, you're just chirping. So you don't consider yourself an American like the rest of us. I don't know what that means, Richard, and I don't know what I said that implied I don't consider myself American, but you can tell me about it. I just sent you an invite. Also, guys, it's a special day for one of my mods. It is a special fucking day for one of my mods.
God bless
So if you guys see Mel down in the chat, can you do me a favor and can you tell her happy fucking birthday? Can you tell Mel down in the chat happy fucking birthday? Because it's her birthday. It is her birthday. So make sure you tell Mel happy birthday. Not for the headache she gives me, but for the ways that she helps support me in this platform. Make sure you tell Mel happy fucking birthday. Would appreciate it. Would appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. At least Democrats have rainbows. You know what? I'll take that. At least we're vibrant. At least we have no problem playing with colors. Absolutely. Absolutely. At least we have rainbows. Like if it weren't for liberals, right? If it wasn't for liberalism, would we really have color movies? We'd still be watching black and white movies right now. You have one side going, you know what, this movie would look cool if there was more colors. Then conservatives would be like, why you need colors? That welcomes in the devil. I don't know what the fuck they believe. This movie is fine just how it is. But wouldn't it look better with more colors? Wouldn't it be a more accurate reflection of what we see? No. Make black and white great again. We still be working 7 days a week? Yeah. That's another thing. We are the party of regulations. And while this is one thing I do understand from the conservative party, or the conservative viewpoint. I can see how some regulations could be burdensome. I can see how some regulations can seem excessive and unnecessary, and in some ways straight up benefit maybe some of these corporations in regards to kickbacks and stuff. And we can have a serious conversation about those regulations. But listening to the people cite times where they can put anything in our food, where we didn't have regulations that we used to penalize and prosecute the corporations, institutions that put the average American at harm's way, regulations that required seatbelts and everything else because cars rolled out and people were dying left and right. And someone said, hey, maybe we want to put blinkers on there. Maybe we want to put a horn in there to warn people. Maybe we want to have airbags. I'm for regulations that protect Americans. I don't know why the hell you guys aren't. They really want everyone to just fly. They just want everyone to go, hey, whatever happens, happens. It's charge it to the game. What are we, fucking animals in the goddamn wilderness? Make that make sense. Absolutely, Pete. They are very important. You are correct as a Latino man created the color TV. There you go. There you go. I do not play about my water, bro. I do not play about my water. First off, let me see what kind of group of people I have in here today. Before I get into that, Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation. Don't be chicken shit. Don't be chicken shit. Don't be chicken shit. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. If you do call in, please don't talk about my PP. I would greatly appreciate it. I've kind of had enough of you guys thirsting after me. I'd like to have a real conversation. So, how many of you guys understand that water tastes different? Like, water has a taste. And certain waters taste a certain way. There is good water and there is bad water. There is good water and there is bad water. Anybody who says all water is the same, all water matters, you're fucking gross. You're fucking gross. I don't know what to tell you. You're fucking gross. I think Dasani tastes like shit. I used to drink Aquafina, and I got a 24 case of Aquafina the other day. Not the other day, a couple months back. And I was like, how the fuck did I used to drink this shit? I don't like the taste of Aquafina either. Dasani's full of sodium. I drink tap water because I'm broken poor. That's real for a lot of people. I would just strongly suggest you boil it. If you drink tap water for whatever reason, boil it, please. Boil it. That helps. That helps. Zephyrless, I've never had that water actually. I don't know about that one. I only like Dasani and Aquafina? What? Ma'am. I'm sorry, you lost me. You lost me. I have the utmost respect for you, but you lost me there. I can't stand the taste of Dasani. Specifically, I actually like Aquafina more than Dasani. What kind do you drink? I do. I did Ozark. Ozark Art here is like a Texas brand. It's actually pretty good, I think. But now I get the Primo. I get the jugs, the Primo jugs. Honestly, it's cheaper that way. You get your one jug for what, the $15, $20, and then you just refill it every week. I know here at my local grocery store it costs $8 to refill for 5 gallons. I typically get that weekly. So that's what I do. I don't mind the taste of that. I drink whatever water's on sale. Damn. I get it though. Aquinas? Did you mean Aquinas or did you mean to say Aquafina? Deer Park? I don't know about Deer Park. How do you only like 2 brands of water and how are those your 2? I don't know, Joel. I'm trying not to judge. I'm really not. Whatever works. Stay safe. I have questions. Just guess what, buddy? I answer your questions up here. I'm tired of you keyboard warriors. There's a call-in number right there. You can call in a request up. Costco Kirkland water. Have I had Kirkland? I think I've had that one. It's not bad. I don't know. I'm getting more picky as I get older. Certain things I can't taste. I can't do. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Probably very soon I'll start moving towards canned water because you do have a concern with any bottled water in plastic. There's a real concern there. Some companies are better than others, but yeah, there is a real concern there with bottled water. I know someone they're so bougie. They drink their waters from the can. I'm just like, just have your pinky up when it goes back. Just put your pinky up as you're drinking your bougie ass canned water. I've had a can of Dasani. Ain't no fucking way. I've never seen canned Dasani. Oh shit. What? I have never seen this. I didn't even know this was an option. See, I knew about the sparkling. I knew about like Dasani sparkling water. I didn't know they just had regular bottles in the can. I wonder if Dasani tastes better from a can. Liquid Death is amazing. I don't understand the hype around that. I'll have to try one. What's wrong with Dasani? I think it tastes terrible. Remember when bottled water was bougie? No, I don't. I actually don't. Pete's asking the real questions, though. Why is our water not okay? I don't think we'll like a lot of the answers. What I can say is that Republicans will not make it better. That is what I will say. Cans are lined with plastic. Oh. Leave that up to the can people. The can people swear on it. They swear on it. I don't get it, but they swear on it. Dasani tastes like fish water? Jesus Christ. I ain't gonna cap, bro. Some old-fashioned hose water was fire, bro. So, growing up, we had a well. In fact, Hold on. The best water I've ever had was well water from when I grew up in Tennessee. Ain't no fucking water better than that natural well water. I did not grow up buying water. We had a well. We had like a faucet at the top of our property. We fill up these jugs and we'd bring it down. Was no water better than that. And then I moved out to these like fucking cities and shit. Had to start buying water. Fuck, I look like buying water when it rains for free. It was crazy. It was crazy. The call-in number is only for YouTube. Because people on TikTok don't have to call in. They can just request up. The call-in number is only available on YouTube. Is the metals in the hose? Oof. I don't know. Felt healthy to me. I was pretty damn healthy at that time. Guys, continue to double tap the screen. Being live for an hour and a half. Let's get the likes up. Let's get it up to 150K and beyond. Make sure we are engaging with the engagement. We may have to do a restart here in a second. Because they are being chicken shits. So double tap the screen. Let's engage with all of the engagement. Also, if you click on my name in the top left corner, you're going to see the gift gallery reset for the week. To my knowledge, we are in C League. So since we are in C League, we actually can knock out the gift gallery this week. So if you'd like to click on my name, look at the C1 gift gallery and knock out any of the grayed out gifts, we would greatly appreciate it. I don't know if it was a good thing in my location. Maybe not. It could depend on location. We had pretty good well water. We had very healthy well water. Like my stepfather refuses
God bless you.
to sell that property because of it. Thank you, Mel, for the donuts. WCU Mel, I appreciate you.
God bless you.
Yeah. Flying you to Scotland. Brittany, I have to send you a message. I need your thing for your hat. Like a P.O. box or something for your hat. So I can go over that with you. I keep forgetting to message you. What was better than Osaka? Well water? Oh, everything's... Again, any well water, I would argue, is better than any brand you can get from the store. I don't care if it's Fiji. I don't care if it's Liquid Death. You ain't had real water until you've had well water. So. No, they don't. Pellegrino? I've heard about Pellegrino. I've heard about Pellegrino. I've heard about that one. The best bottled water is Ice Mountain. What the fuck happened to Voss? What happened to Voss? Is Voss still a thing? When's the last time you guys have seen Voss water? Thanks, Sherry. When's the last time you guys have seen Voss water? You can buy it. I'm on the website, but I have not seen Voss water in the store. Yeah, I'm on. I just looked it up. You can go to the website. It takes you to Amazon. I can have this delivered in 2 days. Why don't they sell it in the store anymore? Interesting. That was a throwback. Voss is in the bougie stores. I mean, I have a couple of bougie stores I go to here. I still don't see it. That's interesting. How the fuck do you get Voss in the dollar store? Someone said dollar store. See him in Wegmans and Tops. Smart water's decent. I have no complaints with smart water. Anyway. Yeah, dollar store does have random stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Dollar store surprises me. Or excuse me, the $1.25 store. The $1.25 store does have random things. I like the nipple smart water bottles have. I've never heard of a nipple bottle preference. That's not a thing I was aware of until today. W smart water nipples, I guess. Saratoga? That's a unique sentence. My thoughts exactly. That is a unique sentence. Yep. 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 Alrighty, guys. I think we got to do a restart. Because I was planning to go for at least another hour and a half. And as much as I enjoyed talking to y'all, I want to engage with the opposing side today. Examination? What? I don't know. Why the fuck are y'all calling it nipple? What the fuck is nipple Gatorade? I got to complain about smart water. I drank it, waited, but it didn't change my IQ. Honestly, why do they call it smart water? Where did that come from? I'm curious. Why do they call it smart water? What's smart about it? Oh, because it's a smart choice. It's the smart choice, I guess. It's the better water. Chum supporters, I promise you, if you want more intelligence, you're better off going and reading a book versus buying smart water. Drink your water, it helps clear your brain, but also just go read a book. Go read a smart book. It's better for you. I promise you. I'm gonna have to put a pic in the Discord. Yeah, drop it in the live chat. Because of the nipple. Y'all are fucking weird. Alrighty. I don't know what the fuck nipple water is. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't think I want to know at this point. I actually don't. Y'all are strange. Alright, guys. We're going to do a quick restart. So it'll take me about a minute. So go somewhere, come back, whatever you do. YouTube, you're fine. Stay right there. We're going to do a quick restart. And hopefully we can get some chats going today. We got a little bit longer before I wrap up and go to the gym. So we're going to see what we can get. But yeah, we'll be right back, guys. Give me about 60 seconds and we'll be right back. Nipple water. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Alrighty. Perfecto. Let's get this moving over here. Oh, I don't drink chocolate milk. Gatorade is nasty. I don't like the taste of Gatorade, Powerade, all those aids. I don't think it's worth a damn, to be honest with you. My personal opinion, I don't think it's worth a damn. Meh. You can do better than those. I'm assuming they have to be talking about Sports Gap when they call it nipple water or whatever. It's weird. Alrighty. Let me get this moving. Welcome back in, guys. Welcome back in. We're in Ozarka house. Yeah, Ozarka is what I got before. Oh. I hate y'all. I see it, Gucci. I see it. I hate y'all so much. I hate y'all so damn much. This is what we call nipple water? Just because of this cap? Y'all couldn't just say that? Had me thrown off over here? Had me fucking thrown off over here, bro? This is what they meant. This is what they meant by nipple water. It was that nozzle. That nozzle right there. Welcome back in, guys. Welcome back into the stream. Double tap that screen. Double tap that screen till the heart bar gets full. Let me show YouTube, bro. They threw me off. Let me show the YouTube what these folks are doing. Double tap that screen. Let's get the likes up. Get some engagement going and some Trump supporters in here. And see what chats we can get. I've been meaning to try okra water. What in the ever-loving hell is okra water? I'm learning things today. I am learning things today because I ain't never heard of nothing called okra water. This is what they meant by nipple cap, YouTube. I feel like of all the things we could have called that, we didn't have to do that one, but it's fine. It's fine. Any case, Trump supporters request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Donkey Tax, did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
And do you regret your vote?
No.
And why is that?
I wanted the border closed.
Okay. So do you regret your vote now that the border's not closed?
Well, I think if it's not closed, how are you comparing that to what it was? I mean, clearly there aren't hordes and bands of people caravanning across our borders. So I don't know what you're talking about, but sure seems closed to me.
If people are able to cross and we're able to count them, some of them crossings via encounters, then it would mean
You got to be realistic.
Closed.
You had caravans of people by the tens of thousands pouring across our border because they wanted them there, and then they wanted them going to sanctuary cities, and they wanted them for congressional apportionment.
Yeah, sure. Trump also had caravans coming to his cities.
Yes, of course he did. We all know about the Trump caravans.
Yeah, 5,600. Do you not remember when he ordered 5,600 National Guards members to go to the southern border?
The what? Dude, I don't know if you're like being serious or not, but if you're trying to say that the border's not closed, I don't need to look anything up. I can see that there's not caravans of people coming across his border now that President Trump is in charge. Anybody, you can turn on any news channel and see that the border's been closed. Well, it's just so absurd what you're saying.
Is there a reason that you're yelling?
Yes, because absurdity makes me yell.
Yeah,
and you're being very absurd.
You don't have to yell. So you said.
Well, why don't you be honest then? Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you be honest?
The border's never been closed.
That's so ridiculous. Okay, what are we going to get semantic over closed? Let's put it this way. Are caravans of people pouring into our country? No. Were they under Biden? Yes. That's why most people voted for Trump, because they were sick of that. They wanted it to stop, and it did.
You'd actually be.
So how about we just go with that?
At the beginning of the Biden administration, there's just often cited there was tons of people sitting outside of the border wearing Biden let us in shirts that he literally wasn't. And these were people who, in many cases, were asylum seekers, people who had been legally authorized to go through the process to get some protection.
They were from Mexico?
In the United States.
They were from Mexico? Look.
A portion of them, yeah.
However you want to word it, nobody wanted all those people except for the Democrat Party coming into our country like that and making demands of the citizens.
Yeah.
Okay? It's now stopped. Now you can jumble about people sitting here and sending people there. That's why people voted for Trump. That's why he won. And the fact is, they're not coming across like that now. And that's just reality.
Trump winning because people like you believe that we just had caravans of folks coming over here to vote in our elections is not surprising.
We believe that they were coming here to take over our goods and services.
They were take over our goods and services. What do you mean?
That's right. When they go to California, sanctuary city, look what they got.
What do you think a sanctuary city is?
It's where all the illegals go. So that they can get welfare, they can get rooms, they can get jobs. To basically,
God bless you.
Texas is not a sanctuary city. We still have undocumented migrant labor.
It's all about congressional apportionment and getting power for the Democrats.
Again, Texas is not a sanctuary state with any necessarily sanctuary cities, and we still have undocumented migrant labor.
Look,
so I need you to tell me what you believe. What do you think a sanctuary city is?
You can't compare the number.
What do you think a sanctuary city is?
Listen to me. Hang on, buddy. You're trying
to just need you to answer a simple question. You said sanctuary city, so I need you to tell me what you think.
Is Los Angeles a sanctuary city? Is California a sanctuary state? According to the government.
It would be a sanctuary state.
Yeah.
Yes, you're the one who brought it up, so I need you to tell me what you think a sanctuary state is.
It's where all the illegals can go, and they don't have to worry about the local
migrants
government.
Can go anywhere.
Well, you want to let me answer, or do you want to answer for me?
Well, you're wrong. You're literally answering, and in your answer, you're wrong.
Oh, dude. You're just condescending, and you can't stand the fact that Of course you are. You're smug, arrogant, and condescending
I don't
by
know
nature.
what is smug about my face? What?
I don't know about your face. It's just the way you speak. But if you would listen to me for a second.
You keep rambling. I'm listening to
won't
you,
listen.
and I'm asking you to
I'm
define
trying to
things,
explain it
and
to
you're
you, and then
wrong in
stop.
your definition.
You don't need anything defined. We
I
all
do.
know there's a
If you're
bunch of
going to
illegal
say
people
a state is
pouring
something,
into the country,
and the state has
and
a
then
certain
going
function,
to California,
then yes,
so they can get
I need you to
congressional
define why you think
apportionment.
that way.
What do you mean why I would think that way? Because that's what's happening.
A sanctuary city or state isn't a place where undocumented migrants can go and not face deportation. Any undocumented migrant, particularly ones convicted of a violent crime, can be places where you're subject to deportation.
Operate and work to deport them.
Yes,
See?
they can limit their cooperation with the federal government on
That's
several
right.
things,
There you go.
not
And then the
exclusive to
Democrats
immigration
in that
enforcement.
state get to use them for congressional apportionment. Is that correct?
God bless you.
They can do that anywhere.
Well, they shouldn't.
Also,
And that's my
no,
problem.
you
with
can't say
illegal.
that. No. You can't say the Democrats in that state can use them for that factor because there
But
is
they
no,
are.
there would be no political leanings of these individuals. Any
That's ridiculous. You
Any
can't speak for all those people's,
any
those
proportional
people's
seat that they would
political leanings.
give,
No.
any
No.
proportional
Those-
seat that they would give Congress or the
That's
district
absurd.
would not be
That's
based off
absurd.
of a political
You're not
leaning.
speaking
It
for
would
their
be based
political
off of
leaning.
which the
They're
districts.
leaning for the people and the politicians who give them
Well,
hotels.
no, that would actually be
Yeah,
incorrect,
yeah,
especially if we're
yeah, I
talking
think-
about the
well,
Latino
I think
vote.
I could speak
Because
for them
61
more than you can.
Can you? I'm sorry. Are you
Well,
Latino?
You just did. You just did.
I'm speaking
You
from
don't know what their
statistics.
political leanings are.
You don't.
Their leanings are the path of least
We can look
resistance
at
to
exit
living the
polls
American
for
dream.
Kamala Harris and Donald Trump in the 2024 election, specifically Latino men. 61% of them voted with Trump. So per
Yeah,
your
that's
logic, that would not serve Democrats. It didn't serve them. And
Well, then,
if what you
we're
were
talking
saying
about
was true,
illegals.
if what you were saying
We're
is
talking
true,
about illegals. You can't say that because
hold on,
more
you literally
Latin
no,
men,
but we both understand undocumented migrants can make up those congressional seats, according to
they
you.
do. In the census, when they count bodies,
God
they,
bless you.
Okay,
That's what
then.
happens.
And based off of their leanings, if we're specifically looking at exit polls from the 2024 election, they leaned Republican. So they would
No.
serve
You're not-
Republican
we're
by
not
your
talking-
logic.
that
The
doesn't-
argument
you're
that you made
conflating
that they
illegals
serve
and
Democrats,
legals.
I'm
You're
not conflating.
illegals. Yes, you are.
Hold on.
Because there are,
Their
first of all,
citizenship,
there are
their
different
citizenship
types
does
of
not
Latin.
determine their leaning.
Yeah. Look, Venezuelans,
Their citizenship
Cubans,
does
they
not
vote
determine their
conservative,
leaning.
right?
My guy.
We're talking
Their
about illegals.
citizenship does not determine their leaning.
Their citizenship.
That's why I
has-
said Latino
No.
men.
nothing to
Undocumented,
do
whatever the
with it.
case may be. We can only
has
look at the
nothing
ones who
to
are
do
able to
with it.
vote.
I don't know why you're talking about Latin men that can vote. If you're talking about American citizens, it's irrelevant to what I'm saying in that the
I'm
sanctuary
speaking
city
on the demographic of
thing
people,
is all about
Latino
getting
men
illegals there so they
specifically,
can get
because
congressional apportionment.
according to your logic, Democrats are importing.
Not my logic, it's just a
Democrats are
fact.
importing them in here so they can get more seats.
That's correct.
When that would be incorrect, because any seat that the population, including undocumented migrants, would give Congress could be Democrat or Republican.
No, dude, they're not. But look, dude, unless you're going to.
And if you're so worried about that, why hasn't the Trump administration? Why hasn't the Trump administration passed the bill to stop counting? Hey, you say this is a big issue. Why hasn't the Trump administration proposed a bill to stop undocumented migrants being counted in the census?
Oh, I think that he would like to do that. And I believe there has
What do you
been
mean?
some talk of that.
He would
I
like
don't
to
know
do
the
it. He
legality
hasn't.
of how to get it done, but I can assure you.
What do you mean the
I can
legality of
assure
how to
you,
get it done?
I've heard
If they would be
Democrats.
influencing our
Wait,
voting
hang on.
process, then we can pass a
Look.
bill to stop
Wait,
that.
hold on.
They have
Democrats
introduced
simply oppose
absolutely
the
nothing
SAVE
to
Act.
do that.
The Democrats shut down the SAVE Act.
The SAVE Act doesn't stop that.
The voter ID.
I'm sorry. How does voter ID stop them from being counted in the census? Can you tell
Well,
me what
it doesn't-
provision in
it
the
stops
bill?
them from- it stops
Hold on,
them- it stops them
no.
from voting.
Can you tell me they don't? Can you tell me what provision in the SAVE Act stops them
Do
from
you
being
think
counted in the
illegals vote
census?
in elections? Do you think illegal? Is there a problem with illegals voting in elections?
Some may have slipped in the cracks. Yes. There's no problem. There's no mass problem.
Are there
Absolutely
many Democrat states who are trying to get illegals to vote in their local elections, knowingly that they're illegal?
We're talking about federal elections. Local
Well,
elections talking about
I'm
an
just laying the
undocumented migrant
groundwork.
population
I'm just
who
laying
pays
the
taxes,
groundwork
and then
for
the state
what's-
chooses
'cause
to
I
allow them to have
guarantee you-
representation per the taxes. That is a
Look, dude, if you wanna let me
monumentally
talk,
different thing
I'll talk.
from
But if
federal
you-
elections, my guy.
Yeah, whatever, dude. All I'm saying is People have been worried about this, and then now, as the mass comes down, it's like, oh well, we're going to let them all vote in our local elections. And who knows what's going on with ballot harvesting and mail-in ballots? I don't trust all those systems.
Being done.
And I'm sorry, but
we can
you
look
can't
at the bill that was put forward in 2024. My God, you do a lot of fucking rambling. I need you to listen. I need you to stay on the points that you're making. You said voter ID would stop undocumented migrants from voting as if they are in mass, and B, stop them from being counted in the census, which would give congressional members more seats. What provision in the SAVE Act?
Let me tell you this.
What provision in the SAVE Act stops them from being counted in the census for seats? And two, can you show me where undocumented migrants in mass are being able to, or enabled, or allowed to vote in our federal elections?
Well, first of all, I don't know, because I don't trust the federal elections. I surely don't trust ballot harvesting.
You don't know. So where is this based off of? Where is this mass fear of undocumented migrants voting Democrat? Where is that based in?
Okay, can you be quiet for just a second?
Sure, you can tell me where it's based off of.
Ready? You ready? Sure. All right. We know we have a shit ton of illegals coming into sanctuary cities. We know that the local politicians. Yes, of course you do.
We literally do not.
Of course.
Per your own words, we don't.
Well, there's 20 million at least that came here. So where do you think they are? Under a bridge?
20 million
they
who
went
came
to a
here
city.
when?
Huh? At least 10, I bet you there's at least 10 to 15 million that have come in here under Biden.
Incorrect.
Yeah, well, yeah. Were you out there with a counter counting them?
The most accurate, no. People have already done this. The most accurate estimate, the closest accuracy we have is roughly between 3 and no more than 5 million.
Oh, baloney. Yeah, where'd you get that stat
I'll tell you
from?
exactly how bad it is. I'll tell you, actually, CBP, I'll tell you how bad it is. This is how bad it is to where you guys have had to lie about how many have come in. You guys use the encounter rate of 11 million, and then the Trump administration says 15, 20, 25, 30 million. The number changes whenever he wants, and he'll never cite where he gets that from.
Look,
that's
dude,
how bad
you have no
guys are
problem with them
inflating this
coming
problem.
in, and you're drinking Kool-Aid, and I can't help you. Okay,
I'm drinking
I can't
water.
help you. Maybe you should go live with them and let them disrupt your life, and then you'll feel differently. I don't know.
I did have a problem with them coming in the way that they did, just because of the risk of individuals not being vetted and they're potentially being terrorists, which is exactly why I supported S4361, which every single one of your Republican senators, except for one, voted against.
SB4. Oh my God, you got some stat. You're throwing it out, dude. I'm sorry.
It's a bill.
This is the problem with people that. This is the problem with.
It's a bill. It's not a stat.
You're not interested in reality. You want to take reality.
I'm sorry. I think I just mentioned a real bill that real Republicans voted against.
Rhetoric, dude.
I'm sorry. Do you have a friend in the background?
Yeah. Look, let's just make it real simple.
Do you have a friend in the background? I'm hearing a different voice.
Yeah. Look, real simple.
Hey,
millions of people.
Can you give your friend the mic? I want you to give your friend the mic.
Right? Millions of people
give your friend
coming across the border illegally. That's why people voted for Trump. Now we don't have millions of people coming across the border because they're not doing it anymore. That's why CNN's not showing
per the encounter rate. We quite literally would have hundreds of thousands
coming across the border. That's just the way it is.
Can you shut the fuck up? Stop fucking yelling. Holy shit. So, if you're using the encounter rate to say that we have hundreds of thousands of millions of people who came across under the Biden administration, then you can look at the Trump administration's year 2025, where the last 3 months of 2025, he had more encounters than the first 9 months. You can talk about the reduction, but he quite literally would have enabled this if you want to make this point. I want you to go back to the fact that the Trump administration has not passed any legislation whatsoever to actually fix the issue at the border. Because you said that I'm making up stuff, but you had yet to deal with S436. He actually did a very good job come 2024 over the summer. He absolutely did over the summer when he passed a proclamation which brought down border encounters to a 2,500 cap. Absolutely did. In fact, he was able to bring the numbers down so good that the Trump administration came in and immediately claimed it a month after that they brought the numbers down by 95%.
You actually believe
he did a great job.
You believe what you're saying.
I believe the encounter rate of 2024.
You believe what you're saying.
I believe data. Yes.
Oh my God.
Wait, so when did the illegals come in? All of them.
What do you mean? When did the illegals come in? You don't understand. There's no way that we can consider that or count that via encounters. That's
wait
what
a minute.
I
but if you're saying, You're saying, no, my God, you're literally saying encounters are that rate. So I'm going off of your premise of encounters, but that number would be incorrect.
Did they just like magically
Based off of
appear,
the
like,
encounters, if you're taking every single one of those encounters as crossings, that number was handled under the Biden administration come 2024. Biden, during 2021 and 2023, actually tried to pass legislation through the legislative branch, the one that writes the law, a permanent solution, and you guys said no to it almost every single time.
Dude, I don't think even anybody on CNN would say what you're saying. I think you're just delusional.
Can you tell me what I said that was a lie?
It doesn't matter. You're not admitting.
Can you tell me what I said that was a lie?
You don't believe a very simple premise that millions of people came across our border illegally under the Biden administration. He allowed it to happen for a specific...
Millions of people.
Well, I don't know that he allowed it because he was
people,
brain dead.
based off of some of the more accurate estimates,
and now
may
it's
have
over,
crossed
and now
specifically the southern border during the peak of the pandemic fallout or the restoration period of 2022. And you know what we did? It's reflected in the record amount of deportations that we had. It's reflected in the executive order, the proclamation that he passed in 2024 after Republicans shut down the border bill that would have fixed the issue.
Whatever, dude. Keep
I'm sorry you don't know anything, which is why you've been speaking out of your ass and Fox News rhetoric, but those are the facts that I can sip up. He ran.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Trump supporters request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Jesus. Thank you guys for the follows. I appreciate you. Continue to double tap the screen till the heart bar gets full. Let's get the likes up to 50K and beyond. Send your daily heartbeats if you have not already. Share out the live with your friends and family. Repost, add to your story. Let's get the engagement going, guys. Let's get the engagement going. I don't know why. I don't know why you guys believe the stuff you believe. Actually, I do know. Aren't you tired of listening to like Fox News? Oftentimes the number comes from the, what is it they said? The 40 million? 30 or 40 million that came over under Biden when they were actually considering the entire amount of immigrants as a whole, not illegal immigrants as a whole that would have been came over or presiding in this country for the past 40, 50 years. Fox Entertainment. Excuse me. Thank you so much. I'm going to start saying that. Fox Entertainment. Host Fox News is coming out of your mouth? What? Come up, buddy. What are you talking about? If by me mentioning Fox News, yes, it came out of my mouth. The fuck is wrong with you? They think laughing means they're right. Yeah, literally. Every single data point I gave him, he just laughed at it. That's what happens when you don't know things. Whenever you start to notice them ramble more or start to like laugh uncomfortably or start to recite to another talking point because he literally tried to pivot to trans people for a second, it's when they start falling apart. Is when they realize they're up against superior intellect. Whoopsie daisies. Whoopsie daisies. Anti-cases. Hey, Cliff, you're tired of hearing this rhetoric, but you're just spamming in the chat. I fixed it for you. You can get tired of spamming in the chat and just call in the number on screen. That happens when they lose too. Oh yeah, they just crash out. Or they slur to run. Can you tell next when yelling has consequences? Yeah, that was a lot in my ear, honestly. And with this setup, I can't turn down the volume specifically. He was just yelling. Like, why was he so... And how you got two people on the mic and none of you make sense? How do you got two people on the mic and none of you make sense? You want to tell me that at the two of you, you couldn't take your two brain cells, rub them together, and come up with one cohesive point? It's fucking embarrassing, bro. Fucking embarrassing. Anyway, did you guys see Donald Trump falling asleep again in a meeting? If you didn't, I got you. If you didn't, I got you. It will never cease to amaze me how much they scream and cry about quote unquote Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe. When at this point in time, we have more records of Donald Trump sleeping in important meetings
Eric?
than Biden. Dirk, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
I did, yeah.
And do you regret your vote?
I do not regret my vote in one sense, and in another sense that I do, yes.
Give me the sense that you do and the sense that you don't.
Yeah, and the sense that I do is the sense that I had to vote for the guy in the first place. I don't really like him, to be honest with you. But I don't because I think the alternative would be much worse.
Fascinating. That was very vague. Can you give me something specific?
I think a lot of people who identify with the MAGA movement, with that kind of thing, I don't think their vote is so much in support of Trump the man as it is in an oppositional or an oppositional vote to the alternative.
So the average American did not vote for something, they just voted against something.
I think a lot of them did, especially the second term, yeah.
Would you say you're one of those voters?
Absolutely.
And do you think that makes sense?
As an ex-Marxist for 30 years, yeah. Yeah, I do.
An ex-Marxist? I don't know what that has to do with the Democratic Party, who couldn't be further from Marxism than anyone else.
Progressivism is just liberalism under the Gramscian model. You know, it's going to get there eventually. Mm-hmm. Socialism is becoming more and more accepted among what would have been people who would have classified themselves as centrist Democrats 20 years ago.
Socialism
I think it's
isn't
a
Marxism.
slope that we're going down. Are you familiar with the writings of Gramsci and incrementalism?
Nope.
No, it's fascinating. You should check it out. I highly recommend it.
Socialism still wouldn't be Marxism. Democratic socialism in no way, shape, or form would be Marxism. And the Democratic Party, as it identifies here in the United States compared to the rest of the world, is center-right. So if you're worried about communism and socialism and Marxism, then look no further than Democrats to ensure that that doesn't happen, because they've been fighting against all of those metrics daily.
I mean, it's all steps, right? I mean, even Lenin said that socialism was merely the step that capitalism goes to.
God bless you.
Before communism, so.
Okay, it being a step ladder to the thing doesn't mean it's going to go towards said things, especially in a richly capitalistic society.
Right, and certainly we could pump the brakes all we could try to, and maybe hit that sweet spot of the Nordic model or whatever, that everybody likes to cite when they say, "Oh, I like socialism," and you go, "What do you mean?" They go,
"Thank you guys
like
for the gifts, I
Denmark."
appreciate
Like, "Oh, okay." But I don't know if there's any brakes on this train. You know what I'm saying?
The brakes are the Democrats, like literally. The brakes are
folks,
corporate
Ivermex Kendi and them talking about, when they're asked, okay, well, when do we know that we've gained the progress you're seeking? When does it end? And he says, it never ends. It's not supposed to end. The issue is not the issue. The issue is the revolution. And that's always the case.
Yeah, all these book reports are cute. Can you tell me exactly how Donald Trump was the better of two sides?
I think that those who would be in opposition to Marxist and socialist principles had his ear, and because he's a bit of an egomaniac and he likes people to like him, he listens to them.
Would you say an aspect of socialist or a Marxist policy is the government mandating corporations to pay for a specific thing for the benefit of average American?
I think for the benefit of... See, that's the part that I don't like. He's still a neo-lib corporatist boomer.
That wasn't
he thinks if
to my
GDP
question.
goes
So
up, that means everybody's life
just in
gets
case
better,
you
and
have
it's
a
just not
hearing
the
problem.
case.
Do you think an example of a socialist or Marxist policy would be the government forcing private institutions to pay for something for the average American to benefit from?
Force as in the state's monopoly of force? Yeah. Okay. I think that could be in that realm.
So if you're so concerned with those policies and how you believe that they'd be a net negative, you would have voted for the guy who campaigned off of some of those things. One of the most immediate ones was him saying that he was going to make the government pay for IDF.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing that I'm like, I hate having to vote for this guy, because I know that he's in the pocket of a lot of these multinational things, and it's just it's the ick. It's the ick that I got when I put that pen to that paper.
Based off of everything you're saying, you just wouldn't have voted, but you voted for Trump. So what was the defining metric between him and Kamala Harris that made you turn to her?
God bless you.
To him. Thank you, Shay, for the hand art.
I think that, well, I mean, the DNC, ever since that court case with the Bernie supporters labeling themselves a corporate personhood and not having to abide by the votes of their constituents, I think that sold the DNC down the river for me as far as voting for them ever again until they amend that.
Talking about?
It's just they're so captured by like this progressive wing right now, and progress to what? We know what it is.
What case are you talking about? You said there's a case that labeled the DNC or gave the DNC the ability to not respect their constituents. The DNC is a private institution.
Yeah, when the Bernie supporters, myself included, at the time was a Bernie supporter, when they took the DNC to court because the DNC did not honor the vote of their constituents, they argued that they are a private corporation, and in the interest of the corporation, they didn't have to honor the outcome of the poll of the voting of their own constituents, and the court sided in their favor, thus granting DNC corporate personhood. They are a corporation.
Yeah, their influence on the Democratic Party, the government Democratic Party would be different from them being a government entity.
Right, but it falls under the same umbrella. The Democrats are just the public arm of the DNC. A parliamentary institution, doesn't it?
So
I wanted to call in, give you some food for thought.
I don't know. So why did? I'm sorry. Hold on.
MAGA.
You voted for Bernie Sanders.
Yes, I did.
Why did you vote for Bernie Sanders?
Because, well, like I said, I was a Marxist at the time, and I thought he was as close as we could get.
You think Bernie Sanders is a Marxist?
He was close enough, you know. He's a step
what about Bernie Sanders'
positions
is Marxist or Marxist leaning?
What about him is Marxist leaning? He's been a Marxist for a long time.
Okay. Define Marxist.
So, I mean, you can define Marxist in a lot of ways, but generally it is the abolition of, I mean, we're going to talk about communist philosophy. We can take it all the way back to the Hegelian dialectic, but, you know, book reports, right? But, you know, generally it is the abolition of private property, the centralization of state authority.
Guys, links in the bio are the best ways to support the platform.
Central command structure.
Follow me on the social medias, join the Discord community, and if you want to donate directly through links in the bio, you may do so. I may do a fucking job for this guy, because what the fuck is he talking about?
Quote unquote, the interest of
Bernie
the people.
Sanders isn't for any of those things.
He's a smart enough politician who's been in the game long enough to temper his speech.
Temper. Okay, got you. Cool. So nothing he has said, no history that he has ever no history that he's had, nothing that he's ever proposed or talked about, even before he was a senator, has implied in any way, shape, or form that he is a Marxist or Marxist-leaning individual. If anything, the closest he's gotten is to somewhat democratic socialist, but he's still more so a social democrat.
He's a social democrat, for sure, these days. He did hang out with the Weather Underground back in the day, and they were a revolutionary organization.
Okay, so you're saying that he's Marxist-leaning because of the people he hung out with? I hang out or speak with communists on a daily basis. I do not agree with communism.
Mm-hmm. No, I still do as well. I still got friends in those circles, so... It is the thing that gets me about it is that you can see how if you look into liberalism, particularly English liberalism that this country is founded on, a lot of the primary tenets of liberalism is meant to deconstruct power. It is meant to originally it was meant to take down monarchy, right? If you also have a situation where something like Marxism, which is also meant to take down power structures, comes in and appeals to liberal ideals like freedom and equality and all these things, right? Particularly French liberal ideas, and blurs those lines enough, taking into account, incrementalism and things like that. So
W's in the chat to Melvin for the $5 super chat. Memo to MAGAs: laughing, being loud, talking fast, and over talking doesn't make you correct. It makes you look less intelligent and afraid of the facts. Yeah, it does. Him and his little homie in the background earlier were fucking weird. W's in the chat to you, Melvin. W's in the chat to you. Guys, anyone else wants to support the platform, you may hit up the links in the bio. If you're over on the Tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. Yeah, so I understand that you read a bunch of Marxist communists in the books. None of that supports the claim that Bernie Sanders is in any way, shape, or form a Marxist-leaning individual, nor is it reflective of the Democratic Party or the DNC as a whole. Also, as a person who would consider Bernie Sanders a Marxist, and that is an ideology that you no longer hold. Thank you so much, Gucci, for the DJ glasses. Thank you, Karen, for the roses. Then you would, again, you can't use that as a basis to say you couldn't vote for them because of those reasons, because you can't substantiate how they're Marxist leaning and how Donald Trump himself wouldn't be a part of the same system. I don't know how you could even trust Donald Trump to begin with, based off the fact that he literally was a Democrat for the majority of his life.
Yeah. Well, again, he's a neo-lib boomer, and will be that for the rest of his life. Play social corporatist, but
thank you, Devin, for the fist bump.
Unfortunate, but anyway, my point is that you have Gramscian incrementalism post World War II, and you can see how that T-loss is exacerbated and extended into the ideals of liberalism.
Thank you, Angie.
Using liberalism as a skin suit, essentially, under what we now call progressive liberalism, and thus progress into the social liberal, social democrat, then democratic socialist, then socialist, and it's just steps on in, and our grandkids or great grandkids, they're going to be asking themselves a question like, well, do we want a centrally planned economy or not?
So you don't have an issue with fascist incrementalism?
What's that?
Fascist incrementalism? If you're dying on the hill of any form of leftism or progressivism inevitably lands in Marxism, then by default, anything on the right would incrementally or more aggressively lead towards far-right fascism.
Have you ever read, this is a really good book I highly recommend. Let's hear me out. It's called The Road to Serfdom by Hayek. Highly recommend.
Can you answer my question?
Yeah, what was your question again?
Were you not listening?
About how I think that that Sanders is a Marxist?
Other caller, call back. Maybe it'll be more interesting. Jesus fucking Christ. Other caller callback. Trump supporters request up in the box here the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen 737-295-5321. These folks really got y'all scared shitless of things that you don't understand and terms you can't describe. Republicans have you guys scared fucking shitless of things you can't even define, things you do not understand. Oh my God. All this fucking words, all this rambling, you didn't even fucking know what Marxism is. And how no one in the Democratic Party supports it or leans that way. The second you go more this way, if it's not the damn DNC pushing you out, it's other fucking Democrats. Like, what? And like you just said down there, I miss who said it, but I caught it. Of course he was a Bernie bro. The Bernie to Trump pipeline needs to be studied. The Bernie to Trump pipeline needs to be studied. I just find it fascinating how many of you white men who supported Bernie Sanders follow up with voting for Trump. And you know what? I'll take it a step further. I would say that somewhat does reflect on Bernie Sanders too. Can you control your supporters and your base? No, but I think that is somewhat reflective of Bernie Sanders. He was initially hesitant to support Kamala Harris. I want to remind you guys of that. I want to remind you guys, in the face of Trump and fascism, it took him a minute before he went and gave her that endorsement. Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Trump supporters request up in the box here the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen 737-295-5321. I mean, you're not lying, Shay. You're not lying. Does anyone know how Bernie Sanders felt about Obama? That is something I never looked up or looked into. Does anyone know how Bernie Sanders responded to Obama back in the day? What was his positions on him? I do not remember the same resistance. Not that, I mean, I was young. But I don't, in my reading and research, I don't recall resistance towards him. But he sure had some words for Harris. I thought that was super fascinating. Super fascinating. Let me play this video for you guys of Donald Trump once again doing what he does best. Sleeping on American progress. Where's that clip here? Let me put it up on the screen. Put this here. Rambling? Yeah, rambling would be more accurate. Rambling would be more accurate. And that's another thing I can say I can do a lot more due diligence on. I do want to understand exactly what got these people so in a chokehold for this old white man and what happened in 2016. Because however you feel about the primaries and what took place, Bernie Sanders said vote for Hillary. Bernie Sanders said in the face of Trump, vote for Hillary. You guys don't ever want to talk about that part. The candidate who wanted, Hillary Clinton did run off of universal health care. She may have scaled it back down near the end, but that was her campaign promise. She did run off of ending Citizens United. When's the last fucking candidate that we had do that? Obama didn't even do that shit. Harris didn't even do that shit. She ran off of a couple of amazing things, but you guys were way too worried about Bill's dick and his emails. Let's put this up here.
In benchmark hospitals, in the Perinatal Improvement Collaborative hospitals, we have reduced maternal mortality by 41.5%, which is truly incredible. And this is compared with the 5.9% decline in benchmark hospitals over the same period of time. In the
Y'all see my mouse? This man is out cold. This man is out cold. Also, when in doubt, fall back on Democratic policies. She's talking about maternal mortality. You guys remember when Kamala Harris talked about maternal mortality, not even on the 2024 campaign trail, but all throughout her vice presidency and before then in the state of California, then as a senator. You guys remember when she had a lot of energy for that? I swear to God, in the last 72 hours, James Tallarico, and this has been done before him, James Tallarico talked about suspending the gas tax. As a senator, he would vote for that during the rising cost of gas. Trump comes out and says they're exploring the idea. Democrats speak on maternal mortality, specifically how it negatively impacts Black women, 3 to 5 times more likely to die during childbirth. And now the Trump administration is talking about maternal mortality. Democrats talking about Republicans being parties of rich, white, affluent, racist people. Fox News is now talking about how the Democrats are the party of rich, white, affluent people. You guys keep taking the points when you're losing, and you just try to say it in a different mouth as if we don't know where it came from. It's quite lazy. Hi, Erica.
Hector! Hi.
Hello.
How are you today, friend?
Nah.
How's it been?
Trash.
Have any good debates?
No.
Oh. I tried. That sucks. They were all booty heads.
May have heard the last guess. He didn't know what the fuck he wanted.
I did.
I guess before then, him and his friend in the background just laughed at everything because of the millions of illegals. The guest in the last live went on this ramble about, I don't even fucking remember what that guy was talking about. It's just been weird. It's been weird.
Oh. Makes sense. Okay. Well, I heard you talking about maternal mortality, and I remember Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland, actually talking about it too, and how they're investing money into tracking it and trying to mitigate it. I think he was speaking with the governor of Arkansas. The governor of Arkansas is a woman, right? All right.
Let me see.
Is that Huckabee Sanders? Arkansas? Yeah, it's Huckabee. Yep, it's Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Yep. So they were actually talking about it. As you know, we all know she's a Republican through and through. But the state of Arkansas has like one of the worst, has the worst maternal mortality rate in the country. And the thing about it is that these are the same people that vote for Republicans time again. And the Republicans are the same party who get into Congress, that'll be the Senate and the House, who vote yes on budget cuts for programs that could help people, such as, like, of course, Medicaid. Right? Because Medicaid isn't just about helping people get like insurance. There's also like other programs attached to it, right? Like being able to like cover a doula or a midwife, things like that. So like when funding gets cut for these programs, right, people suffer. Mm-hmm. They do. They suffer, right? And I see here that as of now, maternal mortality is still being tracked, of course, by the CDC. It's still being tracked. But I don't trust the Trump administration. I think most of the time they are simply just lip service, and they're doing exactly what it is, as you just said, that they're doing. They hear the Democrats say something, and then they try to take it and make it as if it was their idea, and that is something that they care about. At the end of the day, they do not.
Specifically when their policies or enaction of their policies are growing more and more unpopular during an election year.
That part.
They're going to drop so much shit come 2027. It's going to be funny. It's going to be hilarious.
Bro, imagine the talking points that they're about to have this summer. This summer when gas prices are on average $5.50 a gallon, right? On average. I didn't just say in California, right? On average.
Thank you, Karen.
You know, that high. And then like we have people, they can't eat because their SNAP benefits have been cut. Hey, did you know that I learned this today and it was pretty disheartening. But the state of Arizona, since July, when the big ugly bill went into effect, over 50% of people have been kicked off of the SNAP program. 50% in Arizona alone. Georgia also saw a steep decline also in those and kick like those who are no longer eligible. But the thing about it is that within the Big Beautiful Bill, they put in this rule, the 6% payment error rule. So if your state goes over 6% in payment error, then what that means, like you pay someone too much money, or you pay someone who isn't eligible, so on and so forth, then your state has to cover that money. All right. But remember, SNAP is a program that is 100% funded by the federal government. And so states already are dealing with the fact that they have more people who need this benefit, but then also the federal government, as we know, have cut what is $187 billion from that program over a 10-year period. What's that times 10? 18.7? How much is that?
187 is roughly about...
That's 18.7 or 18 point something.
It's about 2.
Somebody do the math.
Yeah. Hold on. 187 billion.
Billion divided by 10.
Divided.
Like,
that's what that
yeah, let's just say 18 billion.
Okay, I got it wrong. I got it one then.
I know I do math. Am I doing the math wrong? Is it 1? Oh, Hector, you want to hear something funny?
700 million. 18.7.
I was right. Yay, look at me doing math with big numbers. Oh, I'm sorry, I got excited. But Hector, someone told me today that I low-key can't say words. They was like, Erica low-key can't say words right. And I was like, you ain't wrong, but still, you gotta say that shit. Shit was funny though.
I mean, everybody, I hate when people do it. Everyone fucks up on certain words that they don't know. I don't give it much thought. It's certain words. I'm like, well, how you not know this one? Especially in this field. But
look, when it's lights, camera, action, sometimes I get stage fright, goddamn it.
Oh, Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the
No,
tube
I
side, you may
said
call the number
18
on
billion,
screen.
y'all. Dang, I said 18 billion first.
She did. You may call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. When are you going live?
I ain't. I'm doing this.
Oh, well, shit.
Also, I'm hungry.
Check with your state SNAP office to find out work requirement deadlines and changes. Yeah.
Only way I'll go live is if you actually hang out. You can't do that thing where you just request up and drop. You actually have to hang out and talk to people. Not you yawning.
I can do that after the gym. I was going to go to the gym after this.
Oh, so it'd be at nighttime for real?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what time? Your time?
How long we've been live? So how dead it's been. I'll probably end the next couple of minutes, and then 9:30, 10ish, which would be
your time.
8:30, 9ish for you.
Okay, I'll do it, but only if, guys. This is all dependent upon Hector. I am putting this on him. All right, only if Hector actually hangs out. So then that way, I can take naps in between calls.
That's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep.
What's going on, Jim? Welcome in. Guys, make sure you're doing a couple things. Double tap the screen till the heart bar gets full. Also start to put those hashtags in the chat. Put your hashtags in the chat, your favorite ones. You guys know what to do. Share out the live with your friends and family. Also repost and add to your story. If you have not sent your daily heart means, make sure that you do so at this moment. Knock out the gift goal that we have set here. And of course, the links in your bio for the best ways to support the platform. Make sure you're following me on everything, the Instagram, the YouTube. Hector Talks with 2 R's on all. Also, there's going to be the shop. Donation links, and then the Discord, of course. If you're over on the tube side, please hit the like button on that stream. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notification bells. You may do a super chat or a super sticker. Hooters? Hashtag Hooters? What? Trump is the best president ever. Trump is the best president compared to dead ones, I guess. And that metric to say he's better than the dead ones is that he's doing something. It's a different conversation to say if anything he's doing is good or beneficial to the majority of Americans versus the select few.
God bless
Whether
you.
we're talking about the top 1% or the 7 million people, racist, sexist, homophobic people who voted for him just to stick it to the left. This guy came up here, Erica, and literally said he thought, and included himself in this, that these people voted for Trump not so much because they like Trump, but because they didn't like the left or wanted to teach the left a lesson or stick it to the left. And I'm tired of saying this because one, I know that to be the case. But if you voted against something, then you voted blindly. You didn't vote for something. Trump supporters didn't vote for something necessarily. They more so voted against something. Or better yet, I take that back. There's a portion of Trump supporters that did vote for something. They voted for the hate, the bigotry, and everything else. And then there's a portion, the more, I guess, actual Republicans, centrist-leaning Republicans, the moderates who voted for Trump, they voted against something. They just hated what the left represented, which is fucking insane. All we're saying is, as everything is going up, we just want more protections for Americans. We want their wages to go up. We want their health care to cover the bare minimums. We want all groups of people to be included and respected based off of their merit and not based off of what between their legs, gender identity, skin color, and everything else. You guys looked at those policies and said, nah. Make that make sense. Make that make
I
sense.
got this person up. Do they have their? Oh, okay. Hi, Charity. Are you a Trump supporter?
They're not loaded for me.
Oh, maybe not for me either. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not loading up.
Okay, try again. Okay. Hey, I've been trying to work something out through my brain to see if it makes sense.
What?
Because, when explaining, the whole, Louisiana versus Calais decision, the question that's always asked is, oh, so you want racial gerrymandering, right? And then it's kind of like a question of do I? And you know what? Yes, the fuck I do, right? It's just here's what I wrote down. I gotta see, if this makes sense or not, right? And this is where I got. All right, so basically I said, all right, we need racial gerrymandering because we have a history of voter discrimination in this country, and to combat it, we have to take race into account. I said that we have to ensure that minority people have representation. You shouldn't go out and vote every time there is an election only for your vote to be rendered powerless because you never get the representation that has your best interest in mind, that advocates for the policies you care about. So what that means to me is when they do this gerrymandering, right, is that they look at our neighborhoods, right? Because, hey, redlining is still a thing, de facto or de jure, but it's de facto at this point. But it still exists, right? And so they split up our neighborhoods and whatnot, and they put us into these majority Republican districts, aka white districts, right? But that's racial. Fucking A, man. They say it's partisan, but that's racial all day long, right? So I'm trying to figure out how to combat this in my brain.
I think it is a poor excuse to then say that we're the racists for responding to their racial policies. Because you're saying we can do this based off of race, you just can't respond with race because that's racist and unconstitutional. That's not how that works. The response is not racist. This is why you guys keep saying that black people can be racist. Because if we choose to call you something or do anything like that, it could be prejudice to some degree and other things. But you're the racist, and the response you can't deem as racist based off of the color of your skin and the group of people that keep marginalizing said community. It's not racist. It's not how that works. But you guys don't fucking know what race means, to be fair. Make sure you guys are following the backup as well. Follow the backup, the account that we use for whenever this one goes down, or better yet, I may.
That is why we're friends.
Experiment.
That makes perfect sense.
I do my best. I try.
Good job, Hector. Thank you for completing the thought for me, because I could not make it. I couldn't tie it together in my brain. All right, I'm gonna eat food now. Request up in a box. You guys are scaredy cats, and your pillows are dirty, and your moms don't like you. It's because you voted for Trump.
It's hilarious you said that. Because I literally... Thank you guys for following. I literally do my laundry today for my sheets. It's like, when's the last time I washed my sheets? I don't know. I know it's been over a week.
Don't you ever in your life ask that question out loud in public ever again.
When's the last time I washed my sheets? I have a good record.
It was last week. It was last week.
Yeah, every 7 days I wash my sheets.
It was last week.
Every 7 days. If y'all are sleeping in your sheets for more than a week without washing them,
that's nasty.
What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all? W's to the Ari raid over on YouTube. I see you guys. W's to the Ari raid over on YouTube. Ari, wherever you're at, you can come up. Let me know how your live went, because did you guys hear what Donald Trump said about Tomahawk missiles? So,
no.
You know how this man has been running to and fro from the fact that America blew up a fucking school? 2 schools, actually. So it is recent, today, his press briefing today, he had some interesting words to say about these missiles, and I'm going to play this for you guys. Let me up this. Every fucking time.
Every single time, bro.
Caller, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Hi, thanks for calling the stream. Can I get your name, age, and who you voted for?
Did you vote for Trump?
Boring.
You called into the stream.
Yeah, sure, Jan.
What stream are you streaming?
Bro, shut up. No, listen. I'm.
What stream are you
You called
streaming?
me.
Yeah, sure. What stream are you streaming?
Polypolitics.
You're streaming Polypolitics?
What are you talking about? You called into my stream.
Yeah, and that's why I asked you, what are you streaming? And you said Polypolitics. You mentioned a completely separate leftist content creator.
And you're not
I'm on his channel.
You're not a good troll.
I know, you gotta do better, bro.
At all.
You're the troll, bro.
My 12-year-old is better than this.
This is god awful.
That's not Polly. Polly doesn't even sound like that.
I know what Polly sounds like. I know Polly. This is why this is hilarious. And
I heard he wants a cracker.
What? Are you okay?
Do I sound okay?
No.
No, get really. Help. Go talk to the lady.
I hold myself to no political ideology. I do not ally myself with the Democrats or the Republicans. I ally myself with being a piece of shit.
That tracks.
Hey, self-awareness is key, bro.
That's all that's left, guys. That is
so
all
uncomfortable.
That's left.
That was so uncomfortable.
That is all that's left. All right, here's a clip.
Prove that those great pilots didn't do their job. They did their job. At 1 o'clock in the morning with no moon, no light, no nothing. Every single bomb hit its targets. And then, as you know, we shot some incredible things that nobody else has. Nobody has a military like we have. We shot the Tomahawks from a submarine 200 miles away, and that went on top of it. But every one of those, including the Tomahawks, every one of those weapons and shots hit perfectly. And they said to me, just to put it on the record, they said to me, there are only 2 countries in the entire world that could ever get that stuff out of there because we don't have the equipment and nobody else. They said China and the United States. So I just want to let you know, those pilots did an unbelievable job, very dangerous job at 1 o'clock in the morning. Think of it, no moon, no nothing. We had no light, purposely. And every single one of those bombs went right down an air chute in a granite mountain and exploded.
According to Donald Trump, every single one of those Tomahawk missiles the one that only we have, after saying that Iran got them and blew up their own schools. Every single one of those Tomahawk missiles hit their target perfectly.
Can you play that again?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Prove that those great pilots didn't do their job. They did their job. At 1 o'clock in the morning with no moon, no light, no nothing. Every single bomb hit its targets. And then, as you know, we shot some incredible things that nobody else has. Nobody has a military like we have. We shot the Tomahawks from a submarine 200 miles away, and that went on top of it. But every one of those, including the Tomahawks, every one of those weapons and shots hit perfectly. And they said to me, just to put it on the record, they said to me, there are only 2 countries in the entire world that could ever get that stuff out of there because we don't have the equipment and nobody else. They said China and the United States. So I just want to let you know those pilots did an unbelievable job, very dangerous job at 1 o'clock in the morning. Think of it. No moon, no nothing. We had no light purposely. And every single one of those bombs went right down an air chute in a granite mountain and exploded.
I want to give Trump supporters the opportunity to tell me what context I'm missing, because we're always leaving out context.
Say that.
Here's the floor is yours. You can tell me what context I'm missing.
That nigga just snitched on himself.
Tell me what the context is. Tell me what part was maliciously edited out. Tell me what followed up afterwards, please. Let me know.
Hector,
Let me know.
He just self-snitched.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
Is he okay? He's not well.
He does that a lot. Also, Kat said he thinks it was 1 a.m. in Iran because it was 1 a.m. in DC.
Yeah, it was 1 a.m. for us.
He probably would be the type of person like, oh, we all have the same time zones. I don't know what time zones are. But yeah, bro said they all hit perfectly after denying the fact that we blew up 2 Iranian schools, however you fucking say it. After trying to say that, yeah, Iran have Tomahawks, and then follow up with only Democrats have Tomahawks. No, excuse me. Only America has Tomahawks. No other place has Tomahawks like us. The best military. And then we use that to blow up schools. And everyone hit on target. So, there you go.
It's 8:30.
This was from today's press briefing. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the live chat of the Discord. I'm going to put in the live chat of the Discord for anyone who wanted to go look at that. But it's from today's press briefing. You can search by keyword or anything else to find it. So, there's that. Bigly time zones, huge time zones. Those are legal time zones.
That is wild.
With that being said, Trump supporters request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you may call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. I don't know. Maybe you're one of the growing number of Trump supporters who regret their vote because Donald Trump will lie to your face for days and then admit in 4K that he was lying for days. Maybe you've had enough of that and you would like to express exactly why this live is a safe space for those individuals to come up with minimal judgment and express what exactly made them grow more and more discouraged from Trump. And if you are a Trump supporter who does not regret your vote, clearly he wasn't lying. Clearly he did not admit he was lying. There's no other clip that exists of him saying this other thing that he said and this thing contradicting it. He's the best. The Dow's up 50,000. If you're one of those people, I guess you can call in a request up in the box. That can give you several reasons as to why you should regret your vote. And by several, I mean several hundred. The wall, the healthcare, the ballroom. Yeah, terrible things. All terrible. First off, I hope you're not mentioning these things as compliments. There's no wall. Healthcare is defunded, and he has concepts of a plan. And the ballroom will now be paid for by us. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? W's in the chat to Feisty for the $10 super chat. I'm not dead. You know what's hysterical about that, Feisty? It was literally yesterday. because it was Mother's Day. I was like, is Feisty a mom? I was like, I don't know if Feisty's a mom. It's like, I need to message Feisty, and then I forgot to. I was like, where the fuck has Feisty been? W's in the chat to you, Feisty. I appreciate your support. Guys, anyone else wants to support the platform, you may hit up the links in the bio. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Hector Talks with 2 R's on Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the Tube side, you can send a super chat or a super sticker. Yo, they've been chicken shit today. They've been absolutely chicken shit today. I'm over dissecting lies. You and me both. You know, one of the most difficult things about talking to Trump supporters is that you go into the conversations and you think you're both on the same playing field of reality, right? You think you're on the same playing field of reality. You don't go into conversations on average and expect to have to explain to someone how 2 + 2 = 4, right? So you start from there. And then quickly, when you're speaking to a Trump supporter, you realize, oh shit, I think I actually have to break down how 2 + 2 = 4. And then when you do that, they will challenge you. And then when you tie it into something else, they will say that's not real. And then when all else fails, Sleepy Joe, Hunter Biden laptop, Kamala stepped their way to the top. Trans people flooding the country. It's all the same shit.
So Hector, today was talking to an FBA guy, and I kid you not, she was funny. All right, I asked this man, I said, okay, so what is it that FBA is doing for their communities? Like, what are you doing in your community?
WKR.
He was like, what you mean what I'm doing in my community? I was like, okay, what do you, like, are you feeding people? Are you helping people with housing insecurities? Are you helping people to pay bills? Like, what is it that you're doing? Right? This man said, what you doing? And so then I tell him like a few things. And I said, okay, so if you can't tell me what you're doing, how do you think you're going to like help Black people? You know what he said?
What?
He said, get rid of the boule.
What?
Basically Black elites. Get rid of the Black elites. Like, what are we doing? Get rid of the boule. I was like, shut up. And then another woman asked him, was like, what are 3 policies that you're excited about in the midterms? Well, I voted for Trump because, she said, no. For the midterms, what are 3 policies that you're excited about in the midterms? And he was like, well, no tax on overtime. I hate it here. Yep. What are we doing? What are we doing? And there's so many people who are just stirring on falling for the okie doke, bro. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
Wait, what's
and
this
why?
What's this from today?
The boule?
No, sorry. I'm trying to make sure I get the date right for this press briefing. I'm seeing all the clips from today. To my knowledge, this was the one that happened today. But anyway. Oh yeah, the no tax on the half of the time and a half.
Yeah, that part.
The deduction that you can get at the end of the year that you can file, that one. Yeah, they actually think that you're just not paying any tax on overtime. Jesus.
I hate it here.
I see a couple of people came in from Dean's Live. WC y'all. If you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday after 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. Did Dean have anyone interesting? I'm curious. I've just been getting the worst. Remember when Erica, you remember the days when even if they were wrong, they gave you stuff to look up so you can spend some time like fleshing through documents and actually like stimulating your brain? Remember those days when it's like, okay, this is actually something that I can learn. Those are the debates I really like, where they actually present something for me to look up. So then I'm going through shit and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Those days are long gone.
Mm-hmm. They really are. They really are. They really are. Dean's Live was rough. Ugh. They are getting crazier, which is crazy. Y'all won. Y'all won. This is Trump's America. This is everything you got. No, it's not. But this is what you guys said you voted for. He won. This is your scene. It's your country. You should be happy. You should be enthusiastic. I know you didn't expect us to get quieter. I know you expected us to get louder and louder. So you can't possibly say it's because we can't stop crying. This is Trump's economy. This is Trump's border. This is Trump's foreign relations. And you're
Trump's
still
war.
Trump's war of choice. And you guys are still so mad. Why are you guys still so mad? That's the invisible prompt. Why are you guys so mad?
Athena.
I just want to know. Hello, Cubby. I just want to know. What reason do you guys have to be so pissy? Thank you guys for the follows. Why is my effect not working? Hold, please. See if I can get that fixed. I, for one, thought that once his policies actually really took root, then we would have a lot less complaints, right? You were able to benefit from the breaks on the big, beautiful bill.
It's so loud. It's loud.
I have, for some reason, I have all of those sound effects turned down, but it doesn't control it. Like literally.
God bless you.
I have it all at 25%.
Good God. You think this is going to be the summer of the hantavirus?
No. No, not at all.
Also, I will not be learning those TikTok dances then. Okay, got it.
What?
You know, like doing the C19, like you learn TikTok dances. Some people got degrees. Some people suffer mental health episodes. I can't say if I was the latter or not. I was the latter. And yeah, but like I said, we go into lockdown this time. I'm getting my degree, my poli-sci degree. I'm also going to learn like TikTok dances, and I'm going to get Michelle Obama arms.
Michelle Obama arms is crazy. Some damn good arms to have, though.
Right? Have you seen her? Like, oh my gosh. Michelle Obama arms.
Tom Brewer says, there's 100 of these different channels of Trump hate. Who's the ones complaining? Literally you. You just complained. You literally just complained. Congratulations, Tom. You are the problem. Good job.
Is this irony?
Great job.
Now, I was about to make a joke, but then if I make the joke, my kid gonna get mad at me, so I can't make the joke.
What?
Can I make the joke?
Okay.
I was about to ask my son because he was eating and he was making noise with his mouth. I was about to ask him, "What you doing? Eating ribs?" He is actually eating ribs, so there's that. He is eating ribs.
That's funny. That's funny. The opposite of wrinkly. Damn. Guys, this is about that time. It is about that time. I don't think they have the testicular fortitude to defend their positions anymore. I think that's the exact reason why I started this live. And we are 74 episodes in, only proving the point. Only proving the point. You guys can't say no new wars anymore. So I imagine that's honestly the biggest blunder for the Trump supporting base. Once it went from Biden started wars almost immediately to shit, Trump started wars almost immediately, you guys kind of ran out of talking points.
Have you talked to this guy?
Unfortunately, yes.
Levito just came through here, but he's probably not still here. But I've been watching a documentary. Shut up, average guy. You make too much noise. I've been watching like this documentary about Clarence Thomas. And do you know that like when he was in seminary school, before going to college, when he was in seminary school, like they would like, it was a bunch of white kids and him. He was like one of two black students in the seminary school. They would scream out the N-word like random times of the night while everyone is sleeping, just like keep repeating the N-word. And what the hell? And he wouldn't get any sleep. I was like, that's a real thing. Like they would tell him to like in the dark, they would tell him to smile so they could see him. Like racist as hell.
I'm not surprised. These people that talk about we don't need all these policies to stop racism or reduce racism or prosecute racism, experience it full throttledly. And then they end up getting a little white money, and next thing you know, they forgot their roots. It's really crazy.
Like, ain't gonna lie, I'm watching it before I go to sleep. So I got to that part. I really got to find out about him and this whole, like, how he was like a militant in college. I got to find out, and then I have to know what changed for him.
I think he had a black left girlfriend who hurt his feelings.
Possibly. I know he had a black first wife, though. And he got black kids, too.
What I've been looking into is the Heritage Foundation president studying African American studies just to go against it. I thought that was interesting.
Oh, it's not just to go against it. He studied it so he could know what he was going against. So he wanted to know, he wanted to learn, and he wanted to figure out how to undo the progress. He didn't study it because he was like interested and, you know, all that good stuff. No, like he's some type of scholar. No, he studied it to learn how to undo it.
What progress? Say the same thing in different words.
Not really.
I said he studied it to go against it, and you said he didn't study it just to go against it. He studied it so he can learn to undo it. I was like,
no, the way you phrased it, Hector, the way you phrased it was like he learned it and he was like, ooh, Black history, awesome, this is great. Then just to be like, you know what, I'm gonna do all this shit. It was like that's how I heard it in my brain.
You don't listen to me.
Sometimes I don't.
That's why I'm learning more and more. You don't listen to me.
I don't listen to too many people.
Don't make
I
me
have a
play
weird
this clip
brain.
again.
Oh God, don't do it.
I am going to.
Don't do it. Don't do it. What I do now? What happened?
It's too late.
Oh, fudge.
It's too late. Erica, don't listen to me, bro. I'm learning.
Oh no, are we gonna do a rewind again?
We are.
Oh fudge, this happened the other week, didn't it?
It did.
Don't do it. Don't do it. What I do now? What happened? So I got to that part. I really got to find out about him and this whole, like, how he was like a militant in college. I got to find out, and then I have to know what changed for him.
I think he had a black left girlfriend who hurt his feelings.
Possibly. I know he had a black first wife, though. And he got black kids, too.
What I've been looking into is the Heritage Foundation president studying African American studies just to go against it. I thought that was interesting.
Oh, it's not just to go against it. He studied it.
Okay,
so
come on, Hector,
he
stop
could
it.
know
I don't
what
like the
he
sound
was
of my own
going
voice.
against.
Come
So he
on.
wanted to know. Come on. I was right. Anywho, moving on. So, what were we talking about? I think you have a guest.
Why don't you listen to black men?
Huh?
Why don't you listen to black men?
The infighting.
Why don't I listen to black men?
Or is it just me?
She's a feminist, bro. She don't listen.
Shut up. What? Hector, what?
I said what I said.
Well, once y'all start
the second
listening to
time.
black women, then, you know, hey.
It's the second time, bro.
Hey, once you all start listening to black women. Hey, Hector, let's have some community infighting. All right, let's get the. I was about to say that. I was about to say the C word. I'm not. You know I ain't shit.
I think Erica's. How you gonna say Erica's right when I literally just played it? He studied it just to go against it. I literally. You know what? Fuck y'all. You can talk to this guy. You can hear what he's all about. This fucker came up last week.
He doesn't
talking about
sound smart.
How Somalis are this much of their population is inbred, and we don't need that culture here.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to that. He's not smart. He's just racist.
You looked it up, Hector, and it's a fact.
Gang war.
It's an undeniable fact. It might be uncomfortable to you, but that is a fact.
We're kind of gross. Hey, how many state senators do you have?
2.
All right, what are their names?
Not telling you.
Yeah, you don't know. That's why. It's okay.
Yep, you got me.
Okay. I know. I got you. I got you there, buddy.
Just don't want you to know what state I live in.
Wow. We're gonna find you out of all the millions of people in your state named Average Guy.
Right.
Okay, you're stupid. Well,
I can answer other
if you are the
questions.
average guy, then you are in fact stupid. You do have a literacy problem.
Caller, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
And do you regret your vote?
I do not regret my vote.
I was about to do this.
I was about to say my two favorite race baiters are on right now.
Hi.
Yeah, you guys love playing that race baiting card.
Sure, you
love
got it, buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You call in to crash in?
Yeah. I mean, I did call it a crash in, but I know you're going to fucking play that race card real quick.
You're going to slur.
When you get a chance.
You're going to slur.
So
that's what you're going to do, slur.
Why should everybody listen to a black woman?
Look at you
Why
displaying that we have a literacy
women
problem in the United States of
Mexican
America.
women or white women? Like,
What
why
is
is
he
it always
talking
got to be
about?
like black women?
Is that Hector taking his headphones off?
You guys think you got some intuition that you're always fucking right?
What is he talking about?
No,
what
you
are you talking
over
about?
here saying that y'all should listen to black women.
No one understands what
you're
you're saying
so
because you're yelling. Stop yelling. I can't hear you.
I mean,
I can't
you think
understand you
Kamala
either.
Harris was a great choice of fucking president.
Okay, how wasn't she a great choice for president?
She wasn't. She's a fucking moron.
Oh,
didn't you
okay.
see what she did with
Does
fucking
she
Biden?
confuse
Biden's
whales
over here
and
fucking
windmills
half asleep
also?
while she's trying to run the country, and she can't run the
I mean,
country
like your
worth of
answers
shit.
are just
These
so
woke-ass policies.
very, very like intelligent.
'Cause you're a dummy.
Like, I've never heard such great answers before in my life. These are fantastic answers that you're giving. Why wasn't Kamala Harris a great choice for president? Because she was a moron. Like, bro, like, can you name a policy? Can you name something that she did that's rooted in fact? You can't, can you? He left. I was talking to myself. Oh, that's fun. I told y'all I could not hear him. Anywho, keep tapping that screen, keep sharing the live, keep doing all of the good things. All right? Bubba, you have to turn that down. No. YouTube copyright infringement shit. Oh, he slurred? I didn't hear him slur. I don't care. No, he said a slur. Strikes back. Chill, bro. Anywho. Hey, Mr. Ty. I just called in to crash in. And then I'm gonna say stuff that doesn't make sense. Cause I want you to argue my feelings. Cause my feelings are what's important here, not yours. Only my feelings count. My feelings. Rawr. My mom never hugged me, so I'm emotionally unregulated. Arg. Ah. Ah.
If you're limp dick, just say that.
Pretty much. There we go.
If you're limp dick, just say that.
Daddy didn't love me.
No amount of screaming at black people on the internet is gonna fix your situation, bro.
I know, right? Good grief. I don't know you, sir. I don't know you. Okay? I do like to know, though, that I do have such a massive impact on their lives, right? Because, Hector, think about it. If they weren't crashing out, do you think that we would actually be doing our jobs?
I just get daily confirmation that I'm doing an exceptional job on this app based off of
That
how
part.
mad these motherfuckers get.
That part.
I do want to see this video. I was scrolling through my YouTube feed the other night, and you know you can watch videos on your YouTube feed basically from your home screen without going into it. And I had the captions on, and the title is what intrigued me. Let me put it up on the screen for y'all. It said, Understanding the Second Election of Donald Trump, Alan Burrow, Word and World, Episode 8. The channel was the King's Congregation. So I was like, okay, this is a church. So I was curious as to what this church had to say about his second election in 3 minutes. And I went ahead and made the mistake of watching for a little while. But I didn't watch the full thing. So I'm going to watch the full thing with y'all because Trump supporters don't have any fucking balls. And we're just chilling right now. This is what they apparently have to say. Come taste and see that the Lord is good. Can't wait to see what goodness that they represent in the rest of this video.
Understanding the second election of Donald Trump. When your presidential choice is between Jezebel and Jehu, praise God for Jehu.
What the fudge?
It was different before because I was just reading the captions. This man said that with his full chest. First and foremost, who the fuck is Jehu? Jehu was a 9th century BC king of Israel, known for his violent, divinely ordained purge of the house of Ahab and the worshippers of Baal. Cool. So he is equating Donald Trump to this divinely appointed king who slaughtered Joram, Ahaziah, Queen Jezebel, and others, fulfilling this prophecy. What a comparison. What a fucking comparison. Killed his 70 sons as well, for Ahab specifically in Samaria. What a great guy. What a great guy. What else?
That's how we should view the second election of Donald Trump. We should be very
This is why we should tax every fucking church.
thankful to God, but we should also remember that this is an opportunity, not a guarantee. And that's true for us as much as it is for Trump. Remember, God's people have been here before. Jehu of old was an egotist, a flawed politician, and a human wrecking ball with some great instincts as to what needed to be wrecked. Sound like anyone you know?
God bless you.
God knew all of this when he chose Jehu, yet choose him he did. And he's publicly notified him by sending a prophet to anoint him. God publicly anointed our modern Jehu when he anointed him on the ear with an assassin's bullet. I've heard Jehu say we must pray that God transforms Jehu
Wait. The bullet that almost took Donald Trump's, not took off, made his head go every other way, was him being divinely anointed.
Yes.
How are you?
AM, did you vote for Trump?
السلام عليكم فرن غازة أنا من غزة أخو لازم الساعدة معي بيبي الله يكرمكم.
awareness of God's protection into affirmative faith in God's Christ. God, through Jehu of old, whom we read about in 2 Kings 9 and 10, did Israel a great service, for he wrecked the darkest reign Israel had ever seen, Jezebel and her sock puppet husband, King Ahab, whose reign was as absolute as it was evil. We must pray that God uses our modern Jehu to dismantle the totalitarian elites who manipulate the levels of power and influence within our government and society, and indeed around much of the world.
Chat. I'm a little confused. And I want you guys to help me out with this one. Okay? How does one use the guy who supports all of that to dismantle the system that enables all of that. How does is this a fight fire with fire argument? The totalitarian, corrupt government regime needs to be dismantled by the guy who has been living it up in the corrupt totalitarian government regime. Hi, Peaches.
Hi. I asked if you would like me to explain to you how the whole Jehu thing works with Bundy Christians.
You may.
Yeah. So I grew up in a fundamentalist Christian cult and was inundated with this for my entire life. And so what they do is they utilize the idea of Jehu to be able to say like this person is going to do bad things and the bad things are going to make the world worse. And because the world is going to get worse, that means Jesus is going to come back sooner. And so they are banking on essentially bringing in the apocalypse faster to make sure that all the Christians go to heaven because they believe in something called premillennialism, which is that Jesus is going to magically come back from heaven before the apocalypse and take all the Christians away, and then the world's going to go to shit for all of the people who are quote unquote left behind. Have you ever heard of those books? The Left Behind series?
Yes.
Yes. So that's all premillennialism. So this is just the real world version of those books and why we have so many Christian nationalists in power right now. If you want to read more about it, there's a book called Bad Faith. It's a super great read. It's only about 100 pages, so it's a very quick read. If you're more of a documentary person, the documentary is beautiful. It's about 45 minutes long. It's on PBS, and it's called Bad Faith, Christian Nationalism's War on Democracy. And so it's just specifically about how Christian nationalists have decided that they want to usher in the apocalypse, and they're doing it this way by intentionally trying to destroy democracy and install a theocracy that leads to the apocalypse and the rapture. And also, I forgot to preface this by saying, Hector, what I'm about to tell you is fucking bonkers. You know? Probably should have led with that. You know?
Would have appreciated if you led with that, yeah.
Yeah. What I'm about to tell you, you're going to wonder if we're in the upside down. I'm going to tell you, in every church on Sunday morning, they sure the fuck are. You know? They are. Okay, that's all.
See, the Christian accelerationists, I've heard those arguments before. But in his specific example, which would be different from what you said, he said Trump is to fix that. So he would be more so going alongside the ideology, which I still don't understand if they have any belief in a heaven, that Earth is the place that we're supposed to fix for some reason. So there's some that goes, hey, the end of the world means Jesus is coming back, so you should be rejoicing in that. And then there's the other ones who, I guess, basically contradict all the fucking shit from there and just say, well, no, we're supposed to fix this here. This is our heaven on earth. And it's Jesus is going to come back to fix this one. I don't know.
Did he say anything about the 7 mountains in that? No.
Which, to be fair, hold on, we haven't. How much time is left in this? Got about 2 more minutes, so let's just finish it and see what he has to say. I doubt he explains anything.
To do this, our Jehu must be much more focused, organized, and disciplined than he was in his first term, because the swamp, the wokesters, and the billionaires behind them are not going to go quietly.
He's literally a billionaire.
So pray accordingly. With all that God did through Jehu of old, it amounted only to a reprieve, for Israel would soon fall back into her slumbers. If we respond to God in repentance, revival, and reformation, God can use our Jehu as a foothold for America to lift herself up and away from the cliff's edge which she has been dangling over for decades. But if we respond with lethargy, being satisfied with the reprieve, America will make no turnaround and enjoy no sustained blessing. A ruler like David would be much better, but God has not given us a David. He has given us a Jehu, which is much more than we deserve. Let us thank God, lift up our Jehu in prayer, and plead with God for repentance, revival, and reformation, without which our Jehu will be just another blip on the radar screen of human history. Finally, remember that God can turn a Jehu into a David. He does such things. Until next time, this is Pastor Allen, reminding you that Jesus Christ is Lord. May his blessing...
You niggas are bad shit.
Yeah, so he's what they call a dominionist. They believe in something called the Seven Mountains Mandate, which is that they are called to, and also Paul Weyrich, Weyrich. Paul Weyrich was also a dominionist, and he's one of the guys who helped get Reagan elected and begin the moral majority. He actually was also the reason, he's since died, but he is also the reason that Turning Point USA exists. He gave Charlie Kirk 2 nest eggs, really sizable nest eggs, to start and fund TPUSA. So they believe that there are 7 pillars of society and that Christians are called to take over each of those 7 pillars and turn them toward Christ. Thus, essentially, again, demolishing democracy or any other form of government and installing a theocracy. So they've taken over. It's one of the reasons why there are Christian television stations. There's Christian music. There are Christian books. It's very an insulated religious world where they're building their own subculture. And then the Seven Mountains Mandate calls them to take that subculture and expand it to where it becomes the main culture, which is how we got to them battling for Roe v. Wade for the last 50 years and having a gigantic party over all of that. So I didn't do it. Hector, I didn't do it again. I'm sorry. I should have prefaced. What I'm about to tell you is bullshit. You know what I mean? I got you.
Yeah.
It's called the Seven Mountains Mandate.
That is...
This is insanity.
Insane. And you've had a 10-year... If you truly believe that he is a Jehu to David transition, then we would already have 10 years that we can use as an indicator to see if he's been leaning more righteously. And in those 10 years, he's only gotten worse. So, interesting. And then I noticed those references to Israel, which I imagine he would convert over to the state of is not real today. I don't know how you could justify that, especially if you know Jesus' history. These guys are fucking weird. Absolutely fucking weird. I'm going to make this final call before I end the live. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, and we call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Also, make sure you guys are following Peaches up here. Peaches hosts his lives. Typically see them in the morning. So make sure you're following her. Fantastic creator. Jehu, it's spelled like this. He was a figure in the Bible appointed by one of the prophets to kill a bunch of people because they were Baal worshippers. And that's what he was equating Trump to be. Because Trump murder is good murder. Because God supports it. And that makes a ton of sense in someone's mind somewhere. Guys, over on the YouTube side, make sure you hit the like button. Let's get the likes up to 100. Hit the like button over on the YouTube. Yeah, I hate it here too. I hate it here too, Claudia. I hate it here too. It's these are the things that they believe. Oh, bye Peach. What?
Bye, Peach. Sorry, I wasn't doing much talking. I was parenting.
Let me show you guys.
Still am.
In real time. How fucking crazy these people are. Check this out. I got you. I'm about to show you a real-time example. Let me pull this up. Let me show you guys how crazy they are. Why is this not working? Why is this not working? Hold on. Oh my God, stop moving. I'm trying to show you guys this screenshot and it keeps fucking moving every time I'm ready for it. All right, there we go. Look at this. This is in real time. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Recent. Here we go. I'm a Trump supporter. I don't need to have a conversation. We already won the midterms already, and we had taken the House and Senate as the real majority. It makes sense why you guys stay in the comments, actually. If I were you, I would stay in the comments too. Because if that's what you think and that's how you talk down in the comments, I can only imagine how fucking stupid you would look actually engaging with someone who has an IQ above room temperature. It makes sense why you stay in the comments. It makes more and more sense. That's what we call an already sandwich. What does it mean? Who the fuck? I'm tired of trying to make sense of what they mean. I think that's one of the greatest mistakes I make with my head, and that's why I'm losing hairs, bro. There is no making sense. There is none. With that being said, we're gonna wrap it up, guys. I gotta go to the gym. Actually, I don't even know if I have time to go to the gym anymore. Let me see.
You're telling me that you said, never mind. Talk to you in the back end.
9. Where is he at here? I think it's 10. I think it's 50 minutes, in which case.
God bless you.
If it's in 50 minutes, then whoopsies. I guess I'll have to go in the morning.
Shout out to Peach.
Thank you,
Thank
Peaches.
you for turning the gold, Peach.
W Peaches, thank you so much. Oh, I haven't seen that gift.
Thank you, friend.
If you're charged during the 2020 election, why didn't we cheat to keep the White House? Exactly.
I'm gonna go TikTok thought while Hector makes up his mind.
I think it's too late. I'm just getting confirmation from my roommate. Oh, never mind. It's 24 hours. Okay, I'm going to the gym.
Yay, look at you. You thought you weren't going. Now you're going. He tried to get a way out, y'all. He was like, you know what? I'm just going to get me a boba and a slice of cheesecake.
I thought it was 10, but that's on weekends. Amanda, I've been here for 3 hours. What you mean you're getting off? I've been here for 3 hours. Where have you been?
Going live? I don't know yet. I said I wasn't going to go live, but then I said I was going to go live, but it's dependent upon Hector because he has to come hang out.
Yeah. I can after the gym if you're still up for it. If not, I'm going to get into a movie.
All right. You have to just text me. Then we'll see what happens. I guarantee you he's going to text on Discord and I'll see it 15 hours later.
Well, I guess you'll see us tomorrow.
Text my phone, Hector.
Text your phone.
Yeah, text on the phone.
YouTube, you guys are going to raid Matt.
Whoop, whoop.
Matt is
live.
My
friend's live.
You guys are going to go raid Matt. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm going to end it here first for y'all. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, your subscriptions, your super chats, your super stickers.
Good rat stuff.
Shout out to some of the hardest working mods on the platform, but I'll see you guys for tomorrow.